NESN's coverage of the road to Fenway brings us to Hadlock Field in Portland, Maine, home of the Sea Dogs, where today in this Double-A matchup, Portland takes on the Reading Phillies. And welcome to Hadlock Field on this Memorial Day matinee for the Sea Dogs. Eric Fried alongside Mike Antonellis, and this is good times here for the Portland Sea Dogs. They're on a roll right now, and of course they celebrated a championship last fall.
Yeah, this franchise never had a history of a championship. We know the history of the weather here in Portland, Maine. They win a championship in September. The first 4 games of 2007, not washed out, snowed out. 12 inches of snow on Hadlock Field. But this month has been a lot better for the Sea Dogs. They look for a 4-game sweep here today.
And the weather is beautiful here today in Portland, and we are very lucky to see the ace of the Sea Dog staff, Clay Buchholz, one of the top pitchers in the Red Sox organization.
And Baseball America says he's the #1 pitching prospect in the Red Sox organization. His 48th professional appearance today, only 8 at the Double-A level coming in, 9 walks, a 1.97 ERA. He's got great stuff, and he's amongst the leaders in not only the organization in stats, but amongst minor league pitchers. He's one of the best.
And last time out, he outpitched Roger Clemens. What can you expect from Clay Buchholz here today? Here he is in his own words.
First pitch strike, if it's changeup, curveball, slider, fastball, but biggest thing is working on fastball command and actually getting strike one with the fastball and then going from there. That was the main goal through spring training and my development in Double-A. Just it's throwing fastball, being able to command it on both sides of the plate and use it as 2 different pitches instead of just one. And that's what I've been working on so far. It's been pretty successful. Well, that was my goal going into spring training, actually getting to start a big league spring training game. And whenever they told me, I was pretty excited about it. When the game started, it was sort of just like any other game, just throwing your stuff and letting it work for you. So, I mean, the big thing that I saw is that even though big league hitters are big league hitters, if you still throw the right pitch at the right time, you can get them out.
Nice fastball inside corner. Buchholz had Carson fooled.
I came in weighing, I guess, 192 or something in spring training. I weigh about 185 now because of all the running and stuff, but it doesn't take long for me to lose a lot of weight in a very quick period of time. But yeah, that was a big thing this offseason, trying to eat right, protein and everything, and gaining a little weight and getting a little bit stronger. And I accomplished that, but I mean, I gotta work. I think my food digests before I even eat it, so it's sort of hard to keep it all on.
Look at that changeup. Oh my goodness.
It's about winning in college, and minor league ball is about development, and that's what they preach a lot about. And it's I think it's helped me a lot, knowing like having a set number of innings or pitches going into a game, and knowing that's what I have to work with. Sometimes it comes out like a little bit less than I would like it to, but I mean, they're doing a great job, I feel, with me as far as the development side of it.
Clay Buchholz ready to take the mound here at Hadlock Field. We'll have the starting lineups in the first pitch coming up next on NESN.
Great news, Mrs. Wilson. Credit Card of America is able to cut your monthly credit card payments by $248.
Mr. Lynch, it looks like you'll be able to save over $13,000 in interest payments with Credit Card of America.
Credit Card of America is a nonprofit credit counseling company.
We're here to help you solve your credit problems and meet your financial goals.
Take this important first step toward financial freedom and call Credit Card of America. Certified credit counselors are standing by right now.
If you are $3,000 or more in debt and 30 days behind in payments, we can help you. So call our toll-free number.
Our certified credit counselors are standing by to provide you with free credit counseling services and assist you in becoming debt-free.
Take this important first step toward financial freedom right now and call Credit Card of America. Certified credit counselors are standing by right now. Call Credit Card of America.
We can assist you in becoming debt-free.
Welcome back to the road to Fenway. We're at Hadlock Field in Portland, getting set for the first pitch between the Sea Dogs and the Reading Phillies as the Sea Dogs go for the 4-game sweep of this Memorial Day weekend series here at Hadlock. Let's go through the Reading Phillies lineup. They've dropped 2 games below the 500 mark on this trip to Portland. Peter Ramos plays second and leads off. That's followed by Matt Padgett, Mike Costanzo, who's second in the Eastern League with 9 home runs. Chris Coast just down from the Philadelphia Phillies. Jason Hill bats 5th, Greg Jacobs 6th, Juan Tejada 7th, Brian Bergamy bats 8th, and yes, that is a Garcia Parra batting 9th. Nomar's younger brother Michael plays shortstop here for Reading. and he will be in against Clay Buchholz here today.
The right-hander from Lumberton, Texas, makes his 9th start in the Eastern League. Is 1-1 with a 1.97 ERA, and that ERA is 5th in the Eastern League. 45 2/3 innings pitched. He's yielded 32 hits, only 7 walks. His walk-to-strikeout ratio, very impressive. 61 strikeouts, so that's 12 strikeouts per 9 innings. Buchholz has yielded only 3 home runs. He's making his 48th professional start here today.
The defense for the Portland Sea Dogs around Clay Buchholz. Andrew Pickney is the third baseman. Jed Lowry at short. Iggy Suarez at second. Eric Crozier at first. In the outfield, Jeff Corsoletti, Jay Johnson, Corey Keeler, and the catcher, John Otnes. And Buchholz on the mound. The umpire crew here today at Hadlock Field. Robert Price will be behind the plate. Vic Carapazza at first, and Grant Menke will be at third. 3-member crew here in the Eastern League set to call this game on a absolutely gorgeous Monday afternoon at Hadlock Field. Some showers in the area this morning, but things have cleared out here nicely, and there's a pretty stiff breeze blowing here out to right at Hadlock as well. So we'll keep an eye on it, and about 7,000 people will have their eyes on this game here today. It should be just about a sellout crowd, as they've had great attendance here all weekend, and finally some great weather. We touched upon it in the open. We'll talk about that as we go along. Some of the photo album memories from early April here at Hadlock Field. But let's watch Buchholz go to work here for the Sea Dogs. His last start against Roger Clemens on Wednesday down in Trenton. 6 innings pitched, 7 hits, 7 strikeouts, ready to face Peter Ramos here at Hadlock Field. And the first pitch from Buchholz is high for ball 1. Ramos hitting .323 with 1 home run and 4 runs batted in. Reading, a team that's dropped 3 games here so far this weekend to the Sea Dogs.
And what you'll see with Buchholz, that fastball, 91 to 94 miles an hour. The good hard hammer, the curveball, the changeup, the slider, 3+ pitches, says Mike Cather, pitching coach of the Sea Dogs. So he'll mix it all up. But again, it starts with fastball command.
2-0 right now to Ramos. That's in there for a strike. Ramos, Paget, Costanzo to start things here for the Phillies at Hadlock against Buchholz. The 2-1. Fouled back, and just to our rights, and a great grab to start the afternoon off here in front of a full house at Hadlock.
Sometimes you hear bigger cheers for catches in the stands than for home runs hit by Portland. Did you bring your glove, Eric?
I think my hands are good enough to catch it if it comes right through here, although you've seen every Portland Sea Dog game this year, so I expect you to jump in front of it for me here. That's inside, and Ramos believes it hit him. He's going to get into a debate here with the home plate umpire. Ramos says, I have a mark to show for it.
Awfully close.
It may have, he's pretty convinced right from the very beginning, but he's going to stay in there. Ramos ready for the 3-2 pitch from Buchholz. High ball 4, and now Peter Ramos can move on to first base.
Last time out for Clay Buchholz, the first 4 Trenton Thunder hitters reached. He gave up 2 runs. After that, he retired 15 of 18, going 6 innings, 7 hits, no walks, and 7 strikeouts. So he hasn't walked anybody until here today in 1+ start.
In the time you've seen him so far in his time with the Portland Sea Dogs, has he had trouble settling down and getting his rhythm in a game?
He's had problems with his fastball, believe it or not. On May 17th at Altoona, he didn't have fastball command at all, but he still went 5 2/3, gave up 3 hits, struck out 7 because of his secondary stuff is so good, that curveball and the changeup.
Ramos takes his lead off first. Buchholz from the stretch. to face Matt Paget. Strike one. Paget at .260 with 3 home runs, 20 runs batted in. Check on Ramos. He's back safely. Ramos with 3 stolen bases this season for the Reading Phillies.
And one thing with Clay Buchholz, and we tend to ignore this sometimes with pitchers, he has a very good move to first. It's quick. It's a quick turn.
Buchholz working very deliberately here, facing his second batter of the game. Ramos stays put, and that's in there for a strike. 0-2 to Paget. So after Buchholz fell behind Ramos 2-0, he's ahead of Paget 0-2.
Don't be surprised if we see that big hammer here, the curveball. Big 12-6 break.
Buchholz the check to first. You see what opponents are hitting against Buchholz this season. Right-handers, surprisingly enough, have had a little bit more success against Buchholz. Overall, opponents are hitting .198 this season against Buchholz, and Paget is down on strikes. 1 down in the first.
That's a beautiful changeup by Clay Buchholz. Just a late movement on this pitch. Look how quick that drops out of the strike zone. It comes in very appetizing to the left-handed hitter and just drops. As you can see, Paget leaning down. I mean, he really dictates how that pitch came in.
So Paget is retired, and that brings up Mike Costanzo. Time is called. Costanzo at .216, second in the Eastern League with 9 home runs and 24 runs batted in. Little slow roller, the play to second, and Ramos beats it out. The call by the umpires that Lowry had taken his foot off the base, and that's going to bring Arnie Baylor out to debate umpire Grant Menke. Usually you get the benefit of the doubt on that play, but the call from Menke is that Lowry pulled his foot off the bag. Judge for yourself.
Very close. I mean, Lowry takes his foot off the bag because the runner's going in. They might have got it right.
Well, Lowry will disagree. Baylor disagrees, but he'll go back to the dugout. So Ramos is safe at second, and Costanzo is on at first. So 2 on, 1 out here in the first inning. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Chris Coast. Very interesting story for Coast to bypass AAA from the Philadelphia Phillies to come and play every day and bat cleanup here for the Reading Phillies.
Yeah, their AAA affiliate is in Ottawa, so I don't know if that has something to do with it, but he comes down here, 34 years old, a lot of experience, hit a home run yesterday. And a catcher by trade. He's DHing today, so a lot of experience. By the way, Lowry gets an error on that, so a fielder's choice E6 because he came off the bag.
Ground ball to third, to second for 1. On the first, double play, and that will end the inning. 2 on, 1 out. Buchholz gets out of the jam as Coast grounds into the double play. At the end of a half inning of play, scoreless, Portland coming to bat.
It's a fact. People who achieve higher levels of education have more rewarding careers, enjoy a higher standard of living, and earn a lot more money. This year alone, hundreds of thousands of adults will go back to school at online colleges and universities because they know education is the key to a better life. But going back to school can be very confusing, and that's why thousands of people are turning to Education Connection. This amazing free service provides the career tools and guidance that takes all the guesswork out of this important decision. Our free personality test can match you to a career and then help you select an appropriate program. Best of all, Education Connection will match you to schools that meet your unique needs. If you dream of a better job and earning more money, Education Connection is the place to start. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Let Education Connection find the right school for you. It's free, so call 800-737-4021 or log on to 45educationadvising.com now.
Heading to the bottom half of the first inning, Reading and Portland wrapping up their 4-game series. Let's take you through the Sea Dog lineup. Leading off will be Jeff Corsoletti. Batting second, Jed Lowry. Hitting third, the designated hitter, Jeff Natale. Corey Keeler will bat cleanup. Jay Johnson fifth. Eric Crozier sixth. John Utness seventh. Andrew Pickney plays third. He'll bat eighth. And Iggy Suarez will bat ninth. And on the mound, Heath Totten for Reading.
And the right-hander just down from AAA Ottawa. He made his last start against Pawtucket and gave up 7 runs. He was 1-2 with the Lynx. Here with the Reading Phillies, Totten is 2-4 with a 4.46 ERA, his 7th start of the season. 49 hits in 34 1/3 innings, 2 home runs. He's walked 8 and he has fanned 19. So the right-hander starts today. Bubba Nelson originally was supposed to start for Reading, but he was promoted to AAA, and Totten to make the start here today on Memorial Day against the Dogs.
So his second consecutive appearance against a Red Sox farm team, this time at the AA level. And first batter for Portland will be Jeff Corsoletti, hitting at .264 with 1 home run, 21 runs batted in. First pitch on the way from Totten, low for ball 1. .1-0 is in there for a strike. Even things up at 1-1. And here are those numbers from that outing against the Paw Sox. Totten was 1-2 with the Lynx. Those were his last 3 starts. This is his 7th start with Reading, the 2-4 record. Signed by the Philadelphia Phillies in the offseason. 2-1. Fly ball, center field. Settling under it is Bergamy, and he makes the catch for the first out. Let's take you through the Reading defense. Paget, Bergamy, and Jacobs the outfield, with Costanzo at third, Ramos at second, Tejada at first, Michael Garciaparra playing shortstop, and Jason Hill behind the plate catching Heath Totten today. One down, Jed Lowry, who's reached base in 26 consecutive games. His first pitch from Totten, outside for ball 1.
That's the longest streak in the Eastern League this year, and the longest by a Sea Dog since Kevin Youkilis in 2003.
The 1-0. Ball 2. Lowry at .283 with 2 homers and 23 runs batted in. Heading to count 2-0. Line drive, right center field. It gets down for a base hit. Lowry takes the turn, digging hard for second, going for 2. Here's the throw, and he's in there with a double. Good hustle all the way from Jed Lowry. A 1-out double here in the bottom of the first.
That's nice aggressive base running by Jed Lowry. Puts himself in a hitter's count. A 2-0 pitch, little down. He's able to go down and get it and split the outfielders in right center. He's watching the whole way, and he legs out a double. And speaking of doubles, he had a couple against a very good pitcher last Wednesday. The Rockets. Roger Clemens had 2 doubles and a walk-off, Roger.
We'll talk about what that experience was like for you calling the game on radio for the Sea Dogs, and just the atmosphere and how the players handled it all. I know it was last week, but what a thrill to be a part of a game pitched by future Hall of Famer. That's down for a ball. It's 1-1 to Jeff Natale at .250. No homers, 13 runs batted in. The designated hitter with Lowry on second after the double. Two and 1.
Sea Dogs have been playing a lot better baseball, and they've done a very good job with runners in scoring position. 270 as a team, that's third in the Eastern League.
Two 1 pitch. Up and in for ball 3, 3-1.
Well, talking about Roger Clemens, Eric, in the minor leagues, when you go to the ballpark 3.5, 4 hours before a game, there's usually not many people there. We see all these satellite trucks.
A little different down in Trenton last Wednesday, wasn't it?
That whole thing was the new experience. Once the game started, back to normal.
Foul ball. I'll bring the count up to 3-2. Let's show you a little bit of Wednesday. With Clemens on the mound, his rehab appearance. He'll make another rehab appearance today at the AAA level. This was for AA Trenton. And Sea Dogs put Clemens to work on Wednesday down in Trenton.
6 hits off him.
Pulled down the left field line, foul and out of play. Count will hold at 3-2. What was it like around the team knowing that Clemens was going to be the pitcher on Wednesday in a game?
Well, I've seen major leaguers rehab, but this is a different story with a future Hall of Famer, and they were excited. A lot of guys said this is what it's about. You've seen a guy who's succeeded for years. We want to get to this level. He's worked so hard to get to the big leagues for so many years. They were excited.
The 3-2. Down and away for ball 4, so 2 on with 1 out. They'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Corey Keeler.
And a couple New England guys on this roster too. Barry Hertzler, Kyle Jackson, Jeff Natale. So that's exciting. Guys you grew up watching. And they get to meet Clemens as well.
You get it in a variety of ways here at the AA level. You'll get the players like the Josh Beckett when you talk about pitchers, or Jacoby Ellsbury, who moves up to AAA and you expect to be in the major leagues sometime soon, and many of these players we'll see today on their way up. But you also get the players trying to work their way back, like Roger Clemens on that night. So get the best of both worlds, really. The young guys on the way up and guys who've been around a while trying to get back. Line drive and a fair ball. They'll make it all the way to the wall. This will score at least 1 and maybe 2. Natale will be held at third. It's an RBI double for Corey Keeler, and it's 1-0 Sea Dogs.
Well, nice job by Keeler. That pitch was a little bit in. He was able to get out and drive it down the right field line. His 3rd RBI of the series. That was not a bad pitch at all by Ton. Down and in, but Keeler stayed back and ripped it just fair.
Second double of the inning for the Sea Dogs. This one brings in a run. Natale holds at third, and he'll bring up Jay Johnson. After Corselletti was retired on a fly ball to start the inning, Lowry fouled with the double, Natale with a walk, and Keeler with the RBI double to make it 1-0 Portland. Johnson at 279. 1 home run, 10 runs batted in. The center fielder. 1-1.
And he arrived on the scene when Jacoby Ellsbury was promoted to Pawtucket earlier this month. He's hit safely in 22 of 30 AA starts. He was here for 2 weeks last year and hit .333.
1-1. Goes the other way towards second base, saying it was not caught in the air. A short hop indicated quickly by Vic Carapazza. So as Ramos scooped it up through on the first, Johnson is retired. The runners hold at second and third, and they'll bring up Eric Crozier.
Number 40, first baseman Eric Crozier.
Crozier at 211 with 4 home runs, 24 runs batted in. First baseman with 2 in scoring position with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first, 1 run in. First pitch from Totten inside for a ball.
Crozier's the only guy in this lineup with major league experience for the Sea Dogs. He was with Toronto. 33 at bats in 04. He had 2 home runs, both against Tampa Bay.
The 28-year-old ready for the Totten delivery. Swing and a miss for a strike. It's 1-1. Native of Columbus, Ohio. The 1-1. Caught the corner for a strike. It's 1-2. The U.S. Cellular Pavilion. We are trying to figure it out. Your best estimate would be if you clear that pavilion, about a 400-foot shot or so.
I would think so. 425, and Crozier's done that.
Fouled back.
The only player in franchise history. Now, this was built last year, the pavilion, but
he's the only one.
Yeah,
I mean, we're just speaking the facts right here, but you have to be a pretty strong man to clear that pavilion. Yeah, I'd say probably closer to 430 to get that on in the air.
Yeah, it's going up. I mean,
a lot of smart people that you work with in this organization. Can't somebody get out there with?
Well, you know, I didn't have it.
Called strike 3. On the inside corner, Crozier is retired. So are the Sea Dogs, but they score a run, and after one, it's 1-0 Portland.
I need 480 tons of plaster.
I need 70 more rolls of paper.
All small businesses have one thing in common. They need things.
We need to get 6 tickets for Tokyo.
We're open to helping meet your needs. That's why there's the American Express Business Gold Rewards Card. With no preset spending limit, you can get what you need, plus the rewards you deserve in return. By calling 1-800-NOW-OPEN or visiting us online, you can also get automatic discounts on the things you buy most.
I need to rent a car every week.
I need to ship 42 glass bowls.
We'll also show you how easily you can earn 100,000 points in your first year alone. Enough for things like 4 round-trip airline tickets or other rewards. Earn as many points as you can. They never expire.
I need a better way to buy what I need.
The American Express Business Gold Rewards Card. Call 1-800-NOW-OPEN or visit open.com/gold for yours, and we'll waive the fee for the first year.
Getting ready for the second inning. The Sea Dogs on top 1-0. The second inning of work for Clay Buchholz. And earlier we asked his teammate, the outfielder Jeff Corselletti, for his scouting report on his teammate Clay Buchholz.
Talk about a guy who's dominating. You know that he's going to fill the strike zone up. He's going to work quick, and you know he has a plan when he goes out there. He doesn't just go there and throw the ball. You know, he has a gift. He has a good work ethic, and at the same time, you know he's going to throw all 4 of his pitches for strikes. And anytime you have a pitcher like that, you know, you just feel that extra comfort inside. And I think for us to have a guy like that is a tremendous asset to us being good this year.
How about the way Buchholz carries himself? You're around him all the time, and you know, here's a guy who obviously is getting a lot of headlines in Boston and beyond for his ability and what the organization and really what Red Sox Nation would expect from somebody who's pitched so well. How about the way he carries himself?
Well, I think it helped to be around the big league guys in spring training. Made that start at the City of Palms Park, that last game there in spring training against Tampa Bay, and you know what it's like down there during spring training. Packed houses, and then you come here. Crowds are good here, but there's a lot of media that comes up from Boston. He's gotten a lot of attention, and he handles it very well. I mean, he's very good doing interviews, and you forget, you know, the way baseball's progressed. That's a big part of it now, especially in Boston. Might be a little big deal in Boston.
Well, you know, you always want to see now, if you're a fan, does he have a player have the temperament or the ability to handle the quote-unquote pressures that come with playing for the Boston Red Sox and pitching for the Boston Red Sox. Not everybody can do it. We've seen it through the years. So that'll be one thing to watch as Clay Buchholz develops here and moves his way through the system. Right now at the AA level, pitching for the Portland Sea Dogs. Beginning his second inning of work by facing Jason Hill, the catcher, who's hitting .291. .1-0 pitch from Buchholz, swing and a miss.
I think Mark Loretta said this, Fenway Park is like 81 playoff games. And it really is. They're all sold out. The intensity's there.
Well, you mentioned that last spring training start. It may have been in Florida, closing out the exhibition season. Popped up on the right side. Coming in is Crozier to put it away for the first out. But to get that kind of exposure, even though we all know what it's like at the end of spring training, you know, you're just resting guys, and you're just gearing up for the start of the season, which begins just a few days after that. But to be able to go out there, that tells him what the organization thinks of him and gives him a little taste of being in that kind of setting.
And some of the top pitchers on the Red Sox, Kurt Schilling, they had a lot of praise about Buchholz,
yes.
And that helps. Yeah, whether it be a spring training game or not, you're putting on a Red Sox jersey. And he did all right for 22 years old against a major league club in front of a lot of fans. Did a very nice job.
I think maybe the most impressive thing for Buchholz as he faces Greg Jacobs, ball one, is that he has not been pitching for very long. That's a shocking thing. You think, well, here's a guy who probably has been a big bonus baby out of high school and, you know, just has been pitching all this time, but he doesn't have a lot of pitching experience. He's still learning. They'll get down for a base hit, so a one-out single for Jacobs here in the second inning. And Juan Tejeda will come to the plate.
Now 48 professional appearances, that's starting today. That's not a lot at all as a pro. He was drafted in 2005, and he was one of those compensation picks that the Red Sox got for losing Pedro Martinez. So at the time, you know, fans might not have liked that, but it might work out down the road.
First pitch from Buchholz to Tejeda is in for a strike. Tejeda at 250 with 4 home runs and 27 runs batted in.
But only his second full season, 15 games in 05 with Lowell. And having a very nice start to his Double-A career, which is a huge adjustment.
One and one here in the top half of the second inning. 2 on for Redding in the first with 1 out. Buchholz throws the first, and Jacobs is back. Double play got Buchholz out of that inning. And a 1 on with 1 out here in the second. One pitch. Fouled back. 1-2.
Tejeda had a 2-out 2-run single yesterday. Redding took an early 2-0 lead. But they have been plagued by walks in this series. Really, if you want to know the difference in this series, look at the bullpens. Redding 8 walks, 10 runs allowed by their pen. Sea Dogs have not allowed a run in their bullpen the last 9 innings of this series. That tells a lot.
Sounds like the Texas Rangers bullpen against the Red Sox this weekend in Arlington. 1-2 pitch from Buchholz. High, 2-2.
That was his curveball, the first we've seen today, and he snapped it off. There's so much velocity on that curveball. When you talk about a hook, there's so many slang words for curveballs. And his curveball won't hang. That's why they call it the hammer. It drops right down.
Sea Dogs won that game yesterday. Final score is 6-4. Chris Smith, the winning pitcher. Greg Jacobs just 1 steal so far this year. Two pitch. That'll get down for a single. So 2 on with 1 out as Jacobs puts on the brakes and gets back to second base.
Well, when they talk to young pitchers, it's about fastball command and trying to keep it low in the zone. This fastball on 2-2 was up. And Tejeda was able to sit back. This is a fastball up. That's not where Buchholz wants that pitch. And you can tell by his reaction.
And you hear any pitcher at the major league level talk about command and putting that fastball where it needs to be, where you want it to be, as being an important component for all your pitches being effective. And Buchholz missed on that pitch to Tejeda to put 2 on with 1 out with Brian Bergamy at the plate. Bergamy, the center fielder, at 186. 3 home runs, 10 runs batted in. An opportunity here with 2 on and 1 out for Redding.
And Buchholz, one of those guys that throws hard, but you see guys in the major leagues that don't have to. They have that command of the fastball. Tom Glavine, of course, Greg Maddux, touching 89 to 91. You can win that way.
(1-1) to Bergamy. Up and away, 2-1. Jacobs leads off second. Tejeda off of first. Portland is on top 1-0 here at Hadlock. A threat here for Reading, top of the second inning. 2-1 from Buchholz. Fouled back, 2-2.
We see this a lot from pitchers early on the game, establishing that fastball. And that 2-1 pitch had a lot of late break on that fastball.
Two balls, two strikes, 2 on here in the second. The pitch from Buchholz. Oh, we saw a little flinch from the home plate umpire there for a moment. Robert Price indicating to the Sea Dog dugout that it was inside. May have been a little high too, but you saw the right shoulder come up. The pump fake by the umpire.
It's a false start.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Buchholz turns back towards second to see if the runners were going to be off on the pitch. That chases Jacobs back.
And when you're facing a good pitcher, this is a situation you might try to run to do something, get your team going, score an early run off a very good righty here.
Again, Buchholz turns towards second. This time Lowry was a little closer to the bag, but no throw. Jacob steps off with his lead. Tejeda does the same. (3-2) pitch. Runners don't go. Swing and a miss. Bergamy is retired for the second out. Second strikeout for Clay Buchholz.
Well, took something off this pitch again. Look at the drop. Look at changeup. That ball dropped so late. Unhittable.
And you saw Bergamy with a shake of the head walking back to the dugout. So Buchholz with a key strikeout. 2 outs now as Michael Garciaparra steps in at 246. Fouled out of play. Claimed off waivers from the Seattle Mariners back in April. I didn't hear it. We were down on the field before the game. You thought Michael was, you saw the Nesson Mike flag, and of course, as the younger brother of Nomar, he watched a few games on Nesson back in Nomar's playing days with the Red Sox, and he was joking around a little bit. Now, Michael's on Nesson.
Yeah,
Nomar,
he was,
of course, now with the Los Angeles Dodgers.
He said, is this a startup station? Now, he can't do the thing with the batting gloves. Very easy to tell.
No, you need to wear batting gloves. Yeah, he's completely without, not even one on a hand. So I'll have to watch how he goes down the dugout steps as well to see if he takes something from his brother there. 2-1.
You can see the resemblance. He rocks back and forth a little. You see him more look like Nomar defensively, the way he throws across his body and moves to his left at shortstop.
Two 2-1 pitch. Fouled back and out of play. It's 2-2. And Buchholz is a strike away from getting out of this jam. Of course, one name said it all. Nomar in his time with the Boston Red Sox. One of the most popular players in recent history for the Sox. Traded away in 2004. And Nomar now a member of the Dodgers, and his younger brother facing Clay Buchholz. With 2 outs in the second, the 2-2. There was the curve, it was up, and he did not offer. So the count will be full at 3-2 to Garciaparra.
He's thrown that hook twice. That curveball's been up both times in that spot, but still, where it was, Garciaparra still flinched with that velocity on that curveball.
2 outs and a full count. The runners will be off. The 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Buchholz found a little extra on that fastball to retire Garciaparra and end the inning. After 1.5, it's 1-0 Portland.
I had done some research.
Got the brochures, we went on the internet.
We went to the home show, we did the looking at other products.
A couple of local contractor showrooms. Nothing turned me on.
Nothing struck me.
As soon as we saw the renewal by Anderson, it was such a better product than anything we had seen. I don't think we could have bought a better window.
From a company with over 100 years of experience, leadership, and innovation comes what may well be the perfect replacement window for your home. Renewal by Anderson. Call or log on right now and receive our beautiful full-color catalog. Learn about all the benefits and the savings you could be enjoying on the cost of heating and cooling your home.
We had a mild winter, but we really saved probably 300 gallons in fuel in 1 year.
Call or log on right now, and you'll also receive a special savings offer, which will make it even easier to make Renewal by Anderson a part of your home. For the home you love, window and door replacement from a company you can trust. Renewal by Anderson.
Portland on top of Reading 1-0 as we head to the bottom half of the second inning. Trot Nixon is back in Boston, and he'll be on the field at Fenway Park tonight. A full day of Memorial Day baseball continues this evening when a favorite returns to Boston. Trot is back at Fenway, and he'll sit down with Tom Caron live. It's only on Red Sox Monster Monday. Catch up with Trot now with the Cleveland Indians and see what's on deck for the Red Sox tonight at 5:30 p.m. here on NESN. And the Trot Nixon return to Boston coverage will start at about 5 o'clock on NESN today. He'll be holding a press conference at Fenway Park. And NESN will be carrying that live as Trot makes his return back to Fenway. And there'll be a loud, long ovation for one of the popular players who have come through Boston in the last few years, much like Nomar Garciaparra, who we talked about a moment ago. Well, it's a beautiful day here. I don't know if, these mascots here would have been snowmen a little over a month ago, right, Mike? I mean, this was a place where there was a foot of snow in the first week of April, and that really threw the schedule off at the very beginning. But this is what it looked like here at Hadlock Field in that first week of April.
12 inches of snow on opening day. Kind of a state of panic here, driving to the ballpark. Kind of knew there wasn't going to be a game. That was very strange.
Did it take a while for that one to be called, or was that one put into the books as postponed snowstorm pretty quickly?
Took a while to get that snow off the field.
Now, Mike, of course, a radio broadcaster here for the Portland Sea Dogs, and you turned in your microphone for a shovel, I believe, that first week, right?
A shovel and then some Advil for my back after that.
Was it a heavy wet snow here in Portland? Yeah, we're close to the water.
Well, it was good bonding time with all the front office members. It was.
Did everybody have a shovel out here?
Oh yeah.
I'm sure some could shovel it better than others. You can make your own joke with your front office friends here in Portland on that one. Now, when you did all the shoveling and got all the snow off, how long was it before there was a game to be played here at Hadlock Field?
Well, the first 4 games were postponed against the Connecticut Defenders, and then the Rockcats came in, and we were able to play on April 9th. So 4 days.
All that shoveling paid off.
There was snow on the field the day we played in the outfield. Very short part of the outfield. We got it off and played.
Well, this is one of those days that you can look back on those snowy Aprils and smile a little bit. A beautiful day here, Memorial Day matinee here at Hadlock Field. And just think, last month it was covered in snow, but now green grass and temperatures in the 70s. John Otnes fouls it back. Count will hold at 2-2. Otnes, the catcher, at 205. No home runs, 4 runs batted in. You know, we joke around a little bit about shoveling the snow and everybody pitching in, but that has really been the story here from Portland since this franchise began. Before you stepped into the booth back in the early 90s, it has always been that case here with ownership and people running this franchise, one of the best run franchises in all of minor league baseball.
It's phenomenal, and to be tied in with the Red Sox, of course. The Marlins were here, but having the Red Sox ties and having the main monster left and having all these great fans here all the time.
3-2. Popped up. In comes the center fielder. Bergamy will put it away for out number 1. And really, the affiliation with the Red Sox transformed this franchise in many ways in this city, because this is Red Sox country. We all know that. But there was great support here back in the Marlins days, because you knew some of these players coming through, like Kevin Millar and some of those other players who have come through, Josh Beckett. You saw great things in those players and knew that, well, you know, let's get behind these guys right now. And it's always been that way in this town.
And it's kind of strange that Beckett was here during the Marlins affiliation. Then he gets traded to the Boston Red Sox. And people talk about Clay Buchholz, mentioning him like Beckett-esque.
Ground ball right side. It is a fair ball, bobbled by Tejeda, but he throws on the Totten covering for the second out of the inning. That retires Andrew Pickney.
Well, Tejeda has a smile on his face because he reaches to his left to glove it, and it popped in the air out of his mitt, but he grabbed it. And he's saying, I had that the whole time. Don't worry about it. Pretty slick. Nice job by Totten to get over there.
And Tejeda had to jump out of the way of Pickney, who was charging hard for the bag, and try to avoid a collision. Well, in the Eastern League too, not just this franchise, but throughout the Eastern League, you play each other so many times. There's 142 games in the season, so it's a very long season. And like a 4-game series like this one, and the natural local rivalry with a team like New Hampshire, you see these same players, and these players are next to each other so often. That's fouled off down the left field line, out of play. There's a great familiarity, even though there's a lot of turnover with teams, players coming and going either up to AAA or back to single A, or maybe it's a rehab, that everyone knows each other in this league, it would seem.
And you see teams now old. I mean, this Reading club has some guys who've been in the big leagues. I don't mean old, but guys with experience at all levels.
Foul back by Suarez.
I mean, AA has gotten a lot different than it has 20 years ago, and you see guys that are 28, 29, 30 at this level. They can help. They can bring a lot of experience, but there's good affiliations in this league too, with the Yankees, the Twins,
Blue Jays, Red Sox. Popped up on the right side. Tejeda looking for it, but couldn't find it, and it falls in foul territory. Well, a tough spot right there. Right fielder Jacobs couldn't get in on it, and Tejeda backtracking, couldn't grab it.
And the sun coming in from third base can be very tough here, and you see Tejeda say, whoops, hoping that Peter Ramos would bail him out.
Instead, it's a second chance for Iggy Suarez. Faces an 0-2 count. See, over the last 10 games, Suarez has raised his average. He's up to 213 right now. 0-2 pitch from Heath Totten. Outside, ball 1.
And he had the first hit off Clemens last Wednesday, a triple just inside the third base bag. And he said when he got in the batter's box, he looked out there and said, that's Roger Clemens. And he was shaking a little bit.
He shook it off to get a triple, though, against Clemens. Curveball, swing and a miss for strike 3, dropped by the catcher. He'll throw on the first to end the inning. So Totten gets his second strikeout. We'll hear from the manager of the Portland Sea Dogs, Arnie Baylor, when we come back.
This is you after an energy drink. Unfortunately, so is this. Why do energy drinks make you crash? 1 minute you're wired up, the next you feel worse than before. The answer is the large amounts of sugar and caffeine. That's why you should try a new liquid energy shot called 5-Hour Energy. With 5-Hour Energy, you can leave grogginess behind and sail through your day without feeling jittery, tense, or, you know. That's because 5-Hour Energy contains a powerful blend of B vitamins for energy, amino acids for focus and better mood, and enzymes to help you feel it faster. There's 0 sugar, 0 net carbs, and only as much caffeine as a cup of coffee. The 2-ounce shot takes just seconds to drink, and in minutes you're feeling awake, alert, and productive. And that feeling lasts for hours. So if your energy drink makes you crash, switch to 5-Hour Energy. Hours of energy now, no crash later. Find out if 5-Hour Energy is right for you. It's available at these fine stores, or for more information, go to 5hourenergy.com.
As we head to the third inning, the Sea Dogs on top of the Reading Phillies by a score of 1-0. This will be a very big week here on Ness and the Cleveland Indians, the first place team in the AL Central. 3 games with the Red Sox starting tonight at 7 p.m. at Fenway Park. You'll see the Paw Sox in action against the Columbus Clippers on Thursday, and then the Yankees in town for 3. We'll have the coverage on Friday starting at 5:30. Here it's 1-0 Portland over Reading, and we're happy to be joined by manager Arnie Baylor in the Sea Dogs dugout. And what do you think so far of what Clay Buchholz has been doing? He's had to work out of a couple of jams so far, Arnie.
Yeah, he's been a little bit up in the zone. Most of his pitches are belt high to thigh high, and but his changeup's picked him up a little bit. He hasn't got his curveball going yet, but he's a guy that gets better as he goes. So luckily he's got out of these jams early, and he's just going to keep getting better as we get in here. So that'll be good.
How has that changeup? Oh, good reflexes there, Arnie. Nice job. How has the changeup evolved here? Has that been a good pitch since day one for him with you here in Portland?
Yeah, he's had his repertoire since he's been here, and it's just been a matter of him commanding the fastball. And as you can see today, he's got good stuff, but he's got to get the ball down in the zone. They get the little line drives out there. These guys are a veteran team, and they've got some older guys, and they're going to fight the ball off. And the ball's up in the zone, even though they're 93, 94, they'll fight them out there into the outfield with broken bat, line drives, and hits. So when he starts getting the ball down, well, there's a good fastball right there that's down closer to the knees. He's going to be more successful as we go here.
Arnie, Mike Antonellis, talk a little bit about Clay Buchholz, his composure, what you've seen of him. Last week in Trenton, he gives up 4 straight hits in the last of the first, then retires 15 of 18.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we're talking about. I mean, there he got the ball in on this guy here, and he's just going to get better as he goes here. And for some reason, early in the game, he kind of has to see what he's got and what he commands that day. And the stuff's always there. It's just a matter of him kind of getting a feel for it. And from what we've seen here, he's just gotten better as he goes. So he'll get a little feel for his breaking ball here as we get going too. And the changeup's been a real good pitch to keep him in counts. He threw 3 of them to Padgett here last time up, so it'll be interesting to see what he does here with him because he hasn't seen a fastball yet. So.
Ramos a broken back ground out for the first out of the inning. You mentioned how Reading is an older team. You, Arnie, would you consider your squad a younger team? I mean, it does seem to be, especially when you compare them to Reading, a younger team. But as far as this level of baseball, this is a pretty young group. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think we're not really necessarily a young team, but we're a very inexperienced team for this level. A lot of the guys, it's their first year at this level. So, that says a lot there. They've got a lot of guys over here that have AAA experience, and so it's a good test for our guys to kind of get to pitch against these guys and see how they match up.
That's inside for a ball. Do you like working with an inexperienced team when it comes to this level of baseball? Because, they're pretty wide-eyed when you take a look at what Buchholz has done and Michael Bowden, guys like that, a 20-year-old. I mean, do you prefer a younger style of team that you can kind of mold a little bit?
Well, I think you always like to work with young prospects, and you like to work with young guys that have some upside and some ceiling. So, and that's usually what you run into with guys that are young and inexperienced. So they get better as they go, and our guys have improved over the first month we've been here, and even with the weather and problems we've ran into, they're getting better, and they're starting to swing the bats a little bit, and Russ has been working hard with some of the guys to make some adjustments to be able to compete up at this level at the plate. And the pitching's coming around with the guys. They're starting to throw strikes and get into a little rhythm where they're getting a little work on a continuous basis that helps them out.
And this is your return to the Red Sox organization, and you were welcomed back by a snowstorm. How has the transition been for you coming here to Portland for your first year as a AA manager?
It's been outstanding. These guys here do a great job and take care of us and do anything they can for us. And we've got a great group of kids here, and then you can look out here in the stands today and see you know, this is a tough deal to show up here every day with 7,000 people and watch a ball game with the sun out. So, you know, when I came up here in the wintertime, it was -5 and -1 the 2 days I was here. So, you know, even when it was 30 degrees, it was still kind of warm from what they showed me here. So, you know, it's been nice, and we've enjoyed it. And, you know, hopefully it just continues to get better, and we keep getting better, too.
Well, -5, -1 is cold even for a native Mainer, but you're finding your way through it. We appreciate the time, Arnie, and best of luck rest of the way.
You bet. Thank you, guys. Give Mike a bad time about putting that suit on up there today. He's a little out of character.
Will do. Thank you very much.
You bet, guys. Take it easy.
We didn't have to give you a bad time about the suit. Every single member of the Sea Dogs came walking by us on the field before the game, and I think each and every one, it wasn't an original comment, but they say you clean up nicely. I take it you don't normally wear a suit and a tie on many of your radio games.
I'd have spent some money for this giddy up right here. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Not a lot.
No, of course. Not the tie. Yeah.
That's good, though. You do clean up nice. This is great. Well, it's great to have you with us. And I know and every one of the players who walked by us, and Arnie was thrilled to see that you were going to be up here today with us calling the game. And you can bring insight to the Sea Dogs that a lot of people don't have because you're around the team every single day. 2-2 pitch from Buchholz is fouled up and out of play. Count will hold 2-2 to Costanzo.
And I think that's the best part of being in broadcasting. Yes, you get to do the play-by-play, but being around the team and learning things. I learned a lot from Arnie Baylor and from Mike Cather, the pitching coach, and from Russ Morman and from the players. I mean, they teach me things too, things that I see that I might be wishy-washy on. They really do a good job at teaching and learning, and you learn a lot about baseball when you watch it every day for so many years. You see a different game. It's amazing how things look different once you see it so many times.
And a guy like Arnie Baylor, who's been in minor league baseball at a lot of different levels throughout his career, and as I mentioned, his second time around now with the Red Sox organization. That one's fouled up and out of play. Count will hold it 2-2. He's a teacher. That's what he does by trade. So whether it's Clay Buchholz, who's a prize prospect, or maybe an older guy on the team who's trying to hold on to that dream of making it to the majors, or even a broadcaster or someone behind the scenes, he's a teacher. He's going to help out any way he can in any way possible. 2-2. Ball 3. Count runs full to Costanzo.
And this, of course, one of the biggest jumps. You go from high A to double A. Down in high A, you don't see rosters with Chris Coast on it, guys that have major league experience. So, and this is good for Clay Buchholz to pitch against a club like this.
Yeah, as Arnie mentioned, a lot of AAA players, guys with that kind of experience on this Reading team. So a good challenge here for Buchholz, and he retires aside in order. His 4th strikeout as Costanzo goes down. At the end of 2.5, the Sea Dogs on top of the Reading Phillies. 1-0 here on NESN.
Whether you're a big talker, small talker, close talker, or fast talker, Time Warner Cable's home phone service is a perfect fit. With reliable, unlimited calling and loads of features included for a price that fits everyone's budget. So talk the talk with home phone service from Time Warner Cable. Call 1-800-833-2253 and get digital home phone service for only $39.95 per month. Time Warner Cable, the power of you.
I wanted to do something better with my life. I've always liked working with both computers and people. That's why I called.
The demand for healthcare administration has grown dramatically. These are good jobs available at area medical offices, hospitals, and insurance companies.
This school is different. They really want you to succeed.
To get started, call Northeast Technical Institute now at 800-447-1151. That's 800-447-1151.
Heading to the bottom of the 3rd, it is 1-0 Portland, and Jeff Corselletti will be leading off for the Sea Dogs. When it comes to his approach at the plate, well, he's got a plan. Here's Jeff.
My philosophy is you get 3 pitches every bat. You get a pitcher's pitch, umpire's pitch, and your pitch. And for me, especially playing at this higher level, I like to see as many pitches as possible. But if you let your pitch go by, you may not see another one the rest of the AB. So I mean, it's also being aggressive, but also being under control. Just because he throws you, get you over curveball, you don't want to swing at that. And I've always been like that, just taking that marginal pitch and try to just working counts, working deep in counts.
So some of that controlled aggression. We'll see if that comes into play here for Corselletti, who will lead things off for the Sea Dogs. Flew out to center field his first time up.
I like that. You get an umpire's pitch. That's well put. And Corselletti was a standout at the University of Florida, and he led off there. And when Jacoby Ellsbury left, he was a leadoff guy here for the Sea Dogs. Corselletti slides into that spot. He did it his first year as a pro, and he did it the second half of last year in Wilmington when Ellsbury was promoted to the Sea Dogs. So that's a good spot for Portland. They lose, well, at the time, the best hitter in minor league baseball. And look at that on-base percentage he had last year in the Carolina League. And he has reached base safely in 30 of 38 starts coming into play today.
This is his third full season of professional baseball. Wilmington last year, 264 with 11 home runs. Saw the on-base percentage. 6th-round pick by the Red Sox back in the 05 draft. First pitch is low for a ball. '24-year-old hitting .289 over his last 11 games. 1-0 pitch. Ball 2.
Yeah, I'm just tired of seeing so many fees. Can you guys help me out?
Well, switch to reliable home phone service from Time Warner Cable for one low monthly price and a simple bill with taxes and fees you understand.
What about the phone company's extra fees?
Oh, they get ooh-cooled.
What's ooh-cool? Ooh, cool.
Call 1-800-833-2253 and save hundreds with digital phone in an All the Best package. Time Warner Cable, the power of you.
It's time to break free. Feel the exhilaration. We've turned fun into an exact science. Leave everything else behind on a Sea-Doo watercraft.
CB&D Marine, Brewer.
Hadlock Field in Portland, Maine. The road to Fenway on Nesson. Eric Freed, Mike Antonellis, and our Nesson crew here with you on Memorial Day 2007. A matinee at Hadlock between the Portland Sea Dogs and the Reading Phillies. Portland with a run in the first, scored by Jed Lowry, the only scoring of the game. And here is Lowry, his second time through, with Corselletti on. Nobody out here in the third.
Another guy that works the count. His double came on a 2-0 pitch in the first inning. He leads the club in walks.
Corselletti back to first. He's tied for the team lead in stolen bases with 6 on the season. Just missed. 2-0.
It seems like every time Corselletti and Lowry are at bat, they're in a hitter's count. It's good because you get a fastball 2-0, 3-1, put yourself in a good hitter's count, and that's why Lowry is hitting .410 in his last 18 starts.
He's reached base in 27 consecutive games, thanks to that double in the first inning. A double theme for Lowry. Here's what he did against Roger Clemens on Wednesday in Trenton.
And that was a pretty good pitch that came down and in, and that's one of his 2 doubles. Looks like a hanging splitter that he pulls fair down the first base line into the corner and also walked.
Up high for a ball. It's 3-1 to Jed Lowry.
That has to be an exciting feeling. Getting a hit off Roger Clemens.
No matter what happens going forward for Jed Lowry, he'll be able to tell someone somewhere, yeah, I doubled twice in the game against Roger Clemens. And just leave it at that. Let that hang there for a while. 3-1 pitch. Well off the mark. Back-to-back walks here from Heath Totten with some control problems in the third.
And this is why the Sea Dogs have been scoring a lot of runs in May. Their top 2 hitters are getting on base a lot. And when you talk about the top 2 walk guys, it's the top 2 guys in the order. So when your first 2 guys are reaching, you can do a lot of different things. You've got the big bats coming up.
Pitching coach Tom Filer goes out to the mound to try to settle Totten down. Totten's last 3 starts came at the AAA level for Ottawa.
And that will be the final year of that affiliation, as the Phillies will move to Allentown.
So as they discuss things on the mound, we'll remind you that the limited edition Don and Jerry Bobble Desk is back by popular demand. Go online to get yours from the NESSonStore.com and check out our other great Nesson apparel and accessories, including hats, sweatshirts, and t-shirts featuring original Nesson designs. Shop online at NESSonStore.com today. Things go really well for you here today, Mike, in your Nesson debut. You too may get your own Bobble Desk someday. So just keep doing what you're doing, and a dream could be realized.
I was just hoping for a discount at the Nesson store.
Well, you know, that could work out. We could negotiate something here with you in lieu of pay. Natali, the designated hitter, down to strike. It's 0-1. That didn't miss by much. 1-1 with 2 on, nobody out here in the third.
Pretty good slider, and you could see Taunton talking to himself on the mound. He's over the 50 pitch count right now.
1-1. Fly ball left field deep. Going back is Padgett, and he cannot hold on to it. Padgett's hurt. Now the base runner's trying to straighten it all out because it looked for a moment like Padgett had it. But as he hit the deck, you could see the ball come out. So they're saying it was not caught by Padgett, but the runners did not advance. So the bases are loaded. They'll go into the books as a long single for Natali. But right now, P.J. Forbes, the manager for Reading, is going to go out and check on his left fielder.
It's something you never like to see. He said something to the center fielder Bergamy what the injury was, but he got a late break going back and almost made a nice catch.
Oh, he hit his face on the main monster. Well, no question about that. Hit his face or his forehead because you saw his head bounce back. Now you see Corselletti has to go back and tag up, and now goes back, and the runners almost passed one another. Well, that came very close. The umpire is keeping an eye on it, but looks like Corselletti gets to third base safely, as Lowry was right up on his tail. And now the question is Padgett going to be able to continue?
He's a former Sea Dog that was here, so a lot of fans of the ballpark familiar with Padgett. You see a lot of singles in Fenway, and here they call it the main monster at Hadlock Field, usually on balls that are roped off the left field wall. That ball hit the left center, and they're giving him the test.
Now the trainer's going to make sure that Padgett passes a couple of tests here, see if he can stay in the game.
He says he plays for the Sea Dogs. He's either joking around, or
if he says that, he's going to make a trip out of the game, but at least he's up on his feet.
Yeah, that's good to see. So 2 walks to the top 2 guys, and then Natali gets a fastball up and in. He's able to turn on it. He was just activated from the disabled list during this series, and he is 4 for 9.
Padgett can smile about it a little bit now, but he looks to be okay.
Well, that's full speed going into that wall, which is plywood.
Yeah, the main monster here is made of wood. The green monster at Fenway Park is, well, where he'd hit there'd be a metal scoreboard with some bolts sticking out. That's always a bit of a problem for left fielders at Fenway Park. But the rest of the wall of Fenway is made out of hard plastic. This is wood all the way through.
It's still in the process. He almost made a great catch, and Bergamy did a good job to quickly get it in. And the Keystone Cops on the bases.
Great effort by Padgett. He'll go over, clean off the glasses, head back to his position. Looks to be okay. He'll stay in the game. Bases are loaded, nobody out here for the Sea Dogs, with the cleanup hitter Corey Kaler coming to the plate. Kaler doubled, driving in Lowry in the first for the Sea Dog run. Great opportunity here for Portland. Strike 1.
Kaler was in that trade sending Alberto Castillo to Baltimore in March.
0-1. Fouled up and out of play, and quickly Kaler is down 0-2.
And he was the Baltimore Orioles Organizational Player of the Year last year. He was in this league with Bowie. It's called the Brooks Robinson Award. You see the numbers. Had a very good season, but Baltimore needed a catcher at the big league level, so they gave up a pretty good minor league player in Kaler.
0-2. High for a ball. 1-2. Kaler with the Sea Dogs at 277 after his double in the first. 2 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Jay Johnson waits on Beck. The 1-2. 2-2.
And Taunton has walked 3, but he hasn't been very wild. He's had a few pitches that have been very close. That slider he's been working on has missed a number of occasions here, just missed, and we've seen him not very happy.
Fouled out of play. Count will hold at 2-2. Corselletti at third, Lowry at second, Natale at first. Bases loaded here. Nobody out for the Sea Dogs, leading 1-0. Making a bid for a 4-game sweep of the Reading Phillies. Sea Dogs the hottest team in the Eastern League with a 4-game winning streak. In there for strike 3. Good pitch from Totten to retire Kaler. 1 down.
And Totten has been around. Bases loaded, nobody out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This fastball, he just buries it. That's a perfect spot. That's unhittable. Right on the left kneecap of the catcher.
So 1 down and a double play will get Reading out of the jam. Jay Johnson grounded out to second base his first time up. Curveball in there for strike 1. Corselletti and Lowry walked to start the inning. Natale came back with a deep fly ball to left. That goes into the books as a single. Great effort made by Paget. Ball 1. Corselletti got held up at second base because it looked like Paget was holding on to the baseball, and as his body hit the main monster, it was clear that the ball came out at his feet. So Corselletti got to third. That's fouled off down the right field line. And it's 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes to Jay Johnson. Sea Dogs trying to give some run support to Clay Buchholz, who's pitched 3 shutout innings so far for Portland. The 1-2 pitch. Line drive, left center field, base hit. 1 run in. Here comes Lowry, and the Sea Dogs are on top 3-0.
So the 2 walks of this inning have really hurt Heath Taunton. Good swing by Jay Johnson, who has 6 hits in the series. Like a fastball in. No, something off speed, and he got out in front of it and drove it into left center.
So a clutch hit from Johnson, bringing in 2 runs. And the Sea Dogs have a 3-0 lead. Natale at second, Johnson at first, and Eric Crozier steps in with 1 down.
They say leadoff walks hurt.
Well hit the left center field. Coming in as the center fielder, Bergamy, to make the catch. And Bergamy got a good jump on that baseball. Got over to left center for the second out. So Crozier is retired. Now bring up John Otnes. Otnes flew out to center field his first time up.
He didn't get a hit off Roger Clemens, but he was hit by the Rocket.
Well, even if Roger Clemens is on a rehab assignment for the better part of 20 years, this has hurt a lot of players who have stepped in against the Rocket.
Fastball up and in.
That's another one. You know, you've got Lowry saying, well, I got a couple of doubles against Clemens. If you're John Otnes, you can say, yeah, I was hit by Roger Clemens. I just shook it off and ran right down to first base.
And in 10 years, that story will be the fastball came in at 98 miles an hour. Then it will change at 99. And Clemens was topping out 90 to 91 in that game, and the Sea Dogs had great at bats against them. Laid off a lot of his splitters with 2 strikes.
Clemens making another rehab start today for Scranton Wilkes-Barre, this time at the AAA level, and there is a lot of doubt as to whether or not he will pitch for the Yankees this weekend at Fenway Park. We'll see how today goes, but you know, indications seem to be from the Yankees after his start for Trenton against the Sea Dogs that they want to see him pitch on a rehab once, maybe twice, instead of making that first start at Fenway with all the baggage attached to a Roger Clemens start at Fenway Park.
And they said there was a possibility of him pitching against Toronto today, but evident from that start. Now in that series with Trenton the first night, Brett Smith had a no-hitter in the 8th inning, 7 2/3. Next night, Alan Horn pitched a gem, so when they saw Roger Clemens, somewhat of a break.
Foul back.
It was kind of a running joke. I mean, the 2 guys that pitched in that series were very good, and Smith and Alan Horn, who leads the league in strikeouts, and then Roger Clemens. It was certainly quite a scene, and I know Trenton enjoyed it. They sold over 9,000 tickets. That was the largest crowd ever in that ballpark, Waterfront Park. Trot Nixon played there before in Trenton when it was a Red Sox affiliate.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Backhanded by the second baseman Ramos. He wins the race to the bag, but a busy inning for Heath Totten. He throws 31 pitches, gives up 2 runs, and the Sea Dogs lead 3-0 over Reading, heading to the 4th.
My family is amazed with what I've done, going to school and taking care of them. They always tell me how proud they are. My name is Mark Dong. I'm a senior engineering technician for a civil engineering consulting firm. I know that without my education, I wouldn't be where I am right now.
We are educators helping people build a foundation for the rest of their lives. ITT Technical Institute, School of Drafting and Design, education for the future. To find out more, call 1-800-ITT-TECH or visit us on the web.
Have you heard about the benefits of a reverse mortgage? If you're a homeowner, 62 years or older, and would like to supplement your monthly income, a reverse mortgage could be the key to living comfortably in retirement. U.S. government-insured reverse mortgages allow seniors to convert the equity in their home into cash without having to move or make monthly loan payments. We offer a free information kit and video explaining everything you need to know about a reverse mortgage.
Call 800-300-4519.
Clay Buchholz has a 3-run lead to play with as he takes the mound to start the 4th inning against the Reading Phillies. And when it comes to his best pitch, well, is it the curve, the changeup, or the slider, or something else? Here's Buchholz.
When I come out, some days my curveball's my best pitch, and some days changeup, and then other days it's slider. So it can be either one of those. One day if it's not working, I probably might not throw it as much in that case, but that would be my thing that I'd work on in my next bullpen session. If it was my slider, I might be coming around it a little bit and then trying to stay on top of it, and vice versa with fastball, curveball, and changeup.
4 strikeouts so far for Clay Buchholz, and by my eyes so far, I think his fastball's been good, his changeup's been good. The curveball hasn't really been there for him today.
Yeah, and he's had starts where it wasn't the fastball today. Like you said, the curveball's been up a couple times, but you look down, you see 3 scoreless innings. Reading 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. He has 4 strikeouts in 3 innings. So you don't have to dominate a game by retiring 9 in a row or retiring 10 of 11. And it shows a lot when pitchers get into traffic and work out of it. I mean, you're going to do that, especially when you move up in the big leagues. No matter how good you are, hitters are good. And yet 3 scoreless innings for Buchholz. He walked Ramos to lead off the game.
Buchholz has retired 5 in a row, and Chris Coase steps in to start the 4th inning for the Phillies. Buchholz was in a bit of a jam in the first inning. 2 on with 1 out, but Coast grounded into a 5-4-3 double play to end that first inning. And the first pitch is a knee-high fastball for strike 1. Coast, the 34-year-old who played 65 games with the Phillies a year ago. 1 for 5 yesterday in his debut for the Reading Phillies. Swing and a miss for strike 2. It's 0-2.
And his home run was off the Dunkin' Donuts message center, right above the balls and strikes and the outs.
Last year, we mentioned his appearance with the Phillies, those 65 games. That was his first taste of Major League Baseball, and was with the Phillies this year, but now has come down here to Double-A, where he's facing the Sea Dogs, his second game here at this level. That's up for a ball. It's 1-2.
And he's played in the Independent League too in Fargo, North Dakota.
Well, there was a 31 pitch inning for Heath Totten, so Ryan Cameron is up in the Reading bullpen.
Another former Sea Dog on this Reading roster.
1-2 pitch. There's a good curveball right there. A swing and a miss by Coast. 5th strikeout for Buchholz, 1 away.
And just the drop in this curveball, it comes in, it looks pretty appetizing if you're Chris Coast. It starts so high and then it just drops. I mean, look how quick that ball drops. It's a pretty good approach by the hitter, just late movement. That's 5 Ks.
Now Coast has to be wondering, I come down to the Double-A level to put some quality at bats in, and he faces Clay Buchholz, who in that at bat for Coast saw a good fastball early and the very good curveball to close it out. 6 in a row retired by Buchholz. Here's Jason Hill, who popped out to first base his first time up. That's in the dirt for a ball. It's 2-0.
We talked to Mike Cather, the pitching coach of the Sea Dogs, and he pitched with the Braves. And I asked him, what did Leo Mazzoni always talk about as a pitching coach? First pitch strikes. And Buchholz today, 10 of 13 through the at bat to Coast.
We'll talk to the Sea Dog pitching coach in the next half inning about what he's seen from Buchholz here today. That's in for a strike. It's 2-1. That's fouled out of play to even the count at 2-2 here with 1 out in the top half of the 4th inning.
And Mike Cather was with the Braves in '97, '98, so he's been around some pretty good pitchers with the Atlanta Braves and around one of the best pitching coaches, Leo Mazzoni, now in Baltimore. There's Mike. Atlanta had a few good ones there,
I'd say. John Smoltz getting headlines in the last week, picking up career win number 200 to go along with his 150 saves. The 2-2 pitch missed. It's now 3-2. So a full count to the catcher, Jason Hill. Reading had 2 on in the first, 2 on in the second. They went down in order in the third. Here's the 3-2 to Hill. Fly ball down the left field line and out of play.
Smoltz would get my vote for a Hall of Famer.
No question. To be a dominant pitcher in both roles as a starter. 55 saves, right? 1 year as a reliever, so he's proven he can do it. Battled through some injuries. And showing no signs either of slowing down. And here's a guy who's one of those older pitchers in the National League, but still going and going and going. A walk to Hill, so Buchholz had retired 6 in a row. Hill is on with a 1-out walk, and now bring up Greg Jacobs, who singled his first time up.
And Mike Cather will go out and talk with Buchholz. Certainly not an easy thing to do when you talk about a guy going to that role from being a starter to a closer. And you say, well, he's got the stuff, but he's used to a routine. He pitches every 4 days, and pitchers at every level, the minor leagues and the big leagues, they have their routine. They pitch, they run, they throw in a side. You get into a routine, and then you're a reliever when you don't know. You don't know if you're going to pitch that day. You might be sitting in the bullpen when it's 12-0 in the 5th inning and say, well, you probably have the day off, and then 9 runs later, you're in there.
Yeah, Mike, you've really had a chance, I'm sure, to witness through your years following either the Sea Dogs or your years in minor league baseball, a lot of guys who have come to the minor league level to try to reinvent themselves, either as a starter or as a reliever.
And Jonathan Papelbon was here as a starter, and sometimes I like guys to build up innings, build up arm strength, but you're talking to pitchers who were relievers, vice versa. They say it's the routine. You get used to routine like all of us. They get used to doing the same thing over and over. That's the toughest part, is the change.
1 out with Jacobs up. That's high for a ball.
Now Dennis Eckersley really reinvented himself as one of the most dominant closers with Oakland.
And a guy like Smoltz goes starter, closer, starter. Eck goes starter to closer to Hall of Fame. And Smoltz will certainly take his place 5 years after retiring from Major League Baseball.
And Eric Gagne, who was a huge pitching prospect in the Dodgers organization, originally a starter. He's become a very good closer.
Although yesterday, Gagne gave up a key home run to Dustin Pedroia, a guy who passed through here, popular player for the Portland Sea Dogs. Pedroia with a 12-pitch at bat yesterday against Gagne. Homered in the top of the 9th inning to give the Sox a key insurance run because Texas would get one in the bottom of the 9th, but the Red Sox held on for a 3-game sweep. Now, Pedroia was a guy who came through here, and he was paired up with Hanley Ramirez, and it was Pedroia moving on to the Paw Sox. Just a hard worker. I mean, that has really summed things up for Pedroia throughout his years as a ball player. Just
a shortstop in college.
Hard and sure,
yeah,
sure.
Having that stereotype because he's not 6'4", not 6'2", he's 5'8", 5'9", but he's got tremendous power, as he showed yesterday. And Gagne had not allowed an earned run, and Jerry Remy said that was the at-bat of the year, meaning he was fouling off so many pitches, and Gagne kind of shrugged his shoulders after he gave up that home run.
I think there was a shoulder shrug and a smile in the middle of that at-bat. 9 foul balls by Pedroia, who battled through and hit the home run. Pedroia and the Red Sox will be home tonight. A Memorial Day evening game against the Cleveland Indians right here on NESN. Trot Nixon's return to Fenway Park. The weather's a little different from when Trot was last at Fenway Park. Everyone remembers the pouring rain as Trot came out of the game to a very warm round of applause, very wet round of applause. Today he will be welcomed back, I'm sure, very warmly by that Fenway crowd.
And that was the game that DeVern Hansack pitched.
5-inning no-hitter.
I believe David Murphy took the spot of Trot Nixon, both former Sea Dogs. Hansack found out about getting promoted to the big leagues here in the Eastern League Championship, Game 5. Right after the game, that was a good moment.
I think that was probably, can't picture any better moment than that. You win a championship and it's like, yeah, can you go start for the Red Sox and get a chance at the big league level? And Hansack's been back with the Red Sox, up from Pawtucket once already this year. 3-2 the count to Jacobs. Buchholz has had to work here. Fly ball, right field. Back on it is Kaler, back all the way to the wall, and he has to make a leap to pull it in. Racing back to first base is Jason Hill. He's back safely. That one kept carrying. Bit of a breeze freshening here in Portland, and that kept going back and back and back on Corey Kaler, and he ended up having to jump for it a little bit.
You can feel that breeze here in the booth, and as it goes out towards right field, and Kaler just kept going back and back and back, and was finally able to leap up and make the grab. That looked innocent off the bat.
It did.
From Jacobs.
So 2 outs. Tejeda, who singled his first at bat, steps in against Buchholz. Jason Hill on first. 3-0 Portland leading, top of the 4th. Ball 1.
Tejeda's been around. He was in Erie, Tigers affiliate in this league in 04. Last year he was in AAA Norfolk and in High Lynchburg. So he goes from the Tigers, Mets, Pirates to Phillies within a couple years.
Throw to first, close. There's that good move you talked about from Buchholz. Put it right at the bag. Glove there by Crozier, forcing Hill to slide back safely into first. Inside, 2-0.
Nick Clay leads the club in pickoffs with 3. Very quick, that move.
Two-0 pitch. Popped up. Right back and above us, out of play. 2-1.
Hopefully you're not parked behind here, are you?
I think I've been to Hadlock Field enough to know that I find that spot as far away from the stadium as possible.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. You might get a present on your windshield. You might have the baseball waiting for you and a bill attached courtesy of the baseball.
2-1. Popped up. Wind is taking it out towards right center. This is a tough play here, but coming in as the center fielder, Johnson, to put it away and to retire the side. Shutout baseball through 4 innings. We'll talk to pitching coach Mike Cather about Clay Buchholz when we come back.
Yeah, I'm just tired of seeing so many fees. Can you guys help me out?
Well, switch to reliable home phone service from Time Warner Cable for one low monthly price and a simple bill with taxes and fees you understand.
What about the phone company's extra fees?
Oh, they get ooh-cooled.
What's ooh-cooled? Ooh, cool.
Call 1-800-833-2253 and get digital home phone service for only $39.95 per month. Time Warner Cable, the power of you.
Looking for a change of scenery, the chance to see the country, and to meet new people? Northeast Technical Institute can give you the skills you need to earn your commercial driver's license, an important step for anyone interested in professional truck driving. At Northeast Technical Institute, you'll get the hands-on training that can start you down the road to a whole new life. Call Northeast Technical Institute right now at 1-800-447-1151. That's 1-800-447-1151.
Back at Hadlock Field, 3 innings complete. Sea Dogs on top 3-0 over the Reading Phillies. Heath Totten's day is done. The new pitcher is Ryan Cameron.
And he's a Massachusetts native, born in North Adams, now resides in Williamston, was with the Sea Dogs back in 2003 and 04. And he gets the call now for manager P.J. Forbes. Cameron, a righty, no record, 4.97 ERA. His 14th appearance has 1 save. And he's walked 15 in 12 2/3, 11 hits, 12 strikeouts.
So as he warms up, we'll talk with the pitching coach for the Portland Sea Dogs, Mike Cather. Mike, thank you very much for joining us. And let's talk about your pitcher here today, Clay Buchholz. It seemed like in the first inning, he had the leadoff walk. A couple runners got on. Same thing in the second inning, but he settled down a little bit there after that. What are you seeing in him today?
Well, you know, it's what we're working on the whole time is fastball command. You know, when he shows that pitch down in the zone early in the count, he puts himself in favorable position to use the secondary stuff. He's got plus stuff across the board, but it's about establishing that fastball early, being able to work off of that and put hitters away.
We saw the curveball to Coast. Has he had his best curveball here so far today?
No, he hasn't. I mean, he's introduced it sparingly today. He hasn't used it that much, but he's getting second, third time through the order here coming up. That it's going to start establishing. He's going to start establishing that pitch for himself as well.
It's important to remind us and fans and everybody who hears the name Clay Buchholz that he's still learning how to pitch, right?
Absolutely, and a lot of times you're talking about sequences. How are you setting hitters up? What are you reading off of their swing? You know, if you see a guy that fouls a fastball off late and you come with an off-speed pitch, that's not something that plays in your favor. So you want to try to reinforce that when you see a guy that has a tardy swing, is to stay with the fastball. A fastball located to the inner half after you throw one away is a different pitch. And understanding how to use the fastball in different situations to different parts of the plate and different zones is where you get that development.
Mike Antonellis, you were in the Brave system as a pitcher. Does he remind you of anyone, a young pitcher, Clay Buchholz, in the Brave system? You came up and you saw a lot of good arms there.
He's pretty individual. I don't know if we had that much power stuff. I mean, I came up with Kevin Millwood, who was a power pitcher, but he was mostly a two-pitch pitcher at the time. Clay features 4 different pitches, and that's what really sets him aside, and that's what's kept him out of trouble today. He's gotten the ball up a little bit today, and he's been able to stay out of trouble with basically his stuff. We want to learn how to not just rely on stuff and be able to execute pitches.
Pickney lines out the first for the first out of the inning against Ryan Cameron. Something that Mike mentioned before, and I guess it's the Braves' way in many ways, is just getting those first pitch strikes, and that's something that we had a number on. Buchholz, 10 out of 13 batters, including Coast, had been offered first pitch strikes, and that's got to be an important thing for any pitcher that's under your tutelage.
It's anybody. It's first pitch strikes, put you ahead in the count. Now you can use anything. The more options you have getting deeper into counts, the better off you are. And obviously we want to try to put players in, or batters in play within 3 or 4 pitches. The fewer pitches they see, the lower their batting average. So we want to try to execute pitches early in the count and put them in play. We're not afraid of contact. We're throwing to put them in play. If we're making pitches that we want to make, the outs are going to come.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, you like guys that strike out guys, but again, in the minor leagues, if you strike out a lot of guys, that pitch count will rack up. And Buchholz, so 7 walks coming into today, and that's very good for a young pitcher.
Absolutely, and again, his secondary stuff plays in that respect, that he's able to put guys away when he is deeper in counts, and he's got good command. He's got very, very good command, and it's something that you want to feed off of. But again, save yourself the pitch count. Throw a pitch that you're looking to get bad contact on, get them out early in the at-bat. If not, then you've got the you got fastball, changeup, curveball, slider you can put them away with once you get to 2 strikes. And the 2-strike count will present itself more often when you're throwing strikes early in the count. I mean, it's not really a really profound thing to say, but people feel like if they're pitching to contact, they're not going to be in a count to be able to put somebody out with a strikeout, and that's just not true. You find yourself in strikeout counts all the time.
Well, we appreciate the insight, Mike, and best of luck here working with these young pitchers for the Portland Sea Dogs.
Thank you very much.
That's Mike Cather, the pitching coach for the Portland Sea Dogs. A 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Cameron on the mound for the Reading Phillies. 3-0 Sea Dogs at the end of 4.
Great news, Mrs. Wilson. Credit Card of America is able to cut your monthly credit card payments by $248.
Mr. Lynch, it looks like you'll be able to save over $13,000 in interest payments with Credit Card of America.
Credit Card of America is a nonprofit credit counseling company.
We're here to help you solve your credit problems and meet your financial goals.
Take this important first step toward financial freedom and call Credit Card of America. Certified credit counselors are standing by right now.
If you are $3,000 or more in debt and 30 days behind in payments, we can help you. So call our toll-free number.
Our certified credit counselors are standing by to provide you with free credit counseling services and assist you in becoming debt-free.
Take this important first step toward financial freedom right now and call Credit Card of America. Certified credit counselors are standing by right now. Call Credit Card of America.
We can assist you in becoming debt-free.
At the end of 4, the Portland Sea Dogs leading the Reading Phillies 3-0 here at Hadlock Field. The road to Fenway here on Nesson. And we focused here a lot today on Clay Buchholz. We just heard from the pitching coach for the Portland Sea Dogs, Mike Cather. Now let's hear from one of the teammates, Jed Lowry, talking about Clay Buchholz.
He makes the game real fun and real easy because he gets a lot of strikeouts and he keeps us involved by getting a lot of first pitch, second pitch, ground outs, pop-ups. So the game moves very fast and he throws a lot of strikes. So he's one of the easier guys I've ever played behind because he's able to command so many pitches in the zone.
Now, one question here is how many pitches will Buchholz throw here today? He has thrown 70 pitches so far through 4 innings against the Reading Phillies. You see the breakdown, 29 balls, 41 strikes. This is a development stage for him. So no matter how good things are going, there's going to be a number for him to target as determined by the Red Sox, right?
Yeah, his last outing, he threw 95 pitches over 6 innings, and he limited the damage, no walks, so he was able to go 6 innings. And again, that will be dictated today. He's walked 2, he's thrown 70 pitches, you know, how quick he throws. And, you know, when you talk about pitchers, sometimes that's what we talk about first. They say, well, he threw an inning last night, but it really has to do with pitches, how many pitches you throw. You could throw back-to-back days and throw 6 pitches in each outing, you know, for closers, but for a starter, you can go 5 innings and throw 100 pitches. You can go 7 innings and throw 80. It all depends on those first pitch strikes, which is something I know you talked about and we keep track of here, and it's very important.
So Buchholz set to work the 5th inning here, where the Sea Dogs on top 3-0, just finishing up some of the paperwork on Heath Totten. He went 3 innings, gave up 4 hits, 3 runs earned, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts, and those walks were costly. A leadoff walk to Corselletti in the 3rd. That was followed by a walk to Jed Lowry, who we just heard from. Both those runners scored for the Sea Dogs, their 2nd and 3rd runs here in the game, to put Portland on top 3-0 as we head to the top of the 5th, with Brian Bergamy set to lead it off. Bergamy, Buchholz's 2nd strikeout of this game. High for ball 1. Buchholz already with 5 strikeouts through 4 innings. He had come in throwing 45 2/3 innings so far this year, and had struck out 61 in that time.
That comes out to 12 strikeouts per 9 innings.
Now, see, you were selling yourself short about figuring out how long a home run ball would have to travel to clear the U.S. Cellular Pavilion, and just like that, you come up with that number.
It's all the computer upstairs,
Right,
Eric.
exactly. I mean, don't sell yourself short.
That's very easy to figure out. You just take strikeouts divided by innings pitched and then multiply it by 9.
Again, though, you don't want to say it's an easy formula. You want to portray yourself as having just this.
Well, I do it all in my head. I don't use a calculator.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Buchholz looking for his 6th strikeout. That's up high, 2-2.
You could see him look down after he threw that pitch. There will be divots out there in front of the mound. You know, each pitcher is different. Ryan Cameron comes in. He's different than Heath Totten, so he lands in a different spot.
Buchholz shook off one side. And again, looking at his landing spot on the mound. Now you'll see pitchers out there using their cleats to do a little landscaping when they take the mound for each inning and as the inning progresses. Unless it's Mark Fidrich, of course, who will use his hands. Again, Buchholz looking down, maybe more out of disgust for losing Bergamy to a walk.
Number 12, the shortstop, Michael Garcia.
That fastball got away from Buchholz.
You could tell he's not very happy with himself. Release point there.
I'll bring up Michael Garcia-Parra, who struck out his first time up. A little bit high for a ball. Take you back to the last inning. How about the play by Garcia-Parra in the field? Moving to his left. We've seen this before. The kind of patented Garcia-Parra flip on the first base for the out. Just like Nomar does it. Back in his shortstop days with the Red Sox, of course, before the first baseman days with the Dodgers.
And we just talked about the mannerisms at the plate, but defensively, striking image of Nomar.
Well, Buchholz has been up with a few pitches here. It's 2-0.
And that looks so graceful and easy, and that's not an easy play. Moving your left, reaching down, throwing across your body. They sure make it look easy.
This is the 6th minor league season for Michael Garciaparra. First year with the Phillies organization. Buchholz finds the strike zone for strike one.
And he began in Seattle, played in Wisconsin back in the Midwest League, which was a place that David Ortiz had to stop when he was in the Seattle system.
Fouled back to even the count at 2-2. I think some people forget that Big Papi was with Seattle before his time with the Minnesota Twins.
And a top-rated defensive player, according to Baseball America, in that league when he entered the Midwest League, playing with the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers.
Bergamy leads off first. 2-2 pitch from Buchholz. High, 3-2.
Michael Garciaparra was a good soccer player, good football player in high school. Now tackling baseball.
Buchholz quick throw to first, and Bergamy back in time. Well, this is a quick move to first base, a little bit of deception too from the right-hand pitcher, as the timing of it sometimes is a little out of the ordinary from what we've seen here today on that pickoff. When he wants to throw it over to first base and when he brings it there. Three-two pitch. Swing and a miss. First out of the inning. Garciaparra down on strikes for the second time, one away.
It's a fastball from Buchholz. Just went right after him. He has a 3-0 lead. And Garciaparra could not catch up with it. That fastball is really right down the pike.
You mentioned it before, and it was furthered by Mike Cather, just talking about command of the fastball being such an important component here for Buchholz at this stage of his development. Young pitcher on the rise in the Red Sox organization. Came in with a 1-1 record, a 1.97 earned run average here for Portland. That's up for ball one to Peter Ramos as we move back to the top of the order.
And the reason they talk about that, Buchholz today, 4 1/3 scoreless. When you're in AA, AAA, you can maybe get away with not having the fastball command. See that another quick move, but you know, you project Buchholz to be a big league pitcher. And coaches and scouts and coordinators, they know that if you're going to make the jump to that level, you have to have good command no matter what you have with that fastball.
The 1-0 pitch is popped up on the infield. Calling for it is Iggy Suarez. The second baseman puts it away for out number 2.
Iggy is one of Jerry Remy's favorite player. Iggy had a few hits when he played with the big league club in spring training against the Yankees a few years ago. When the Red Sox call up some extra players, Iggy got a chance to play against the Yankees in what they called Game 8 that year. And he knows that. He knows that he's been noticed by Nesson. I told him half dozen times.
Well, you know, once you're in the Rem Dog circle, you know, you don't leave. It really takes something to get out of that, but it takes a lot to get into it. So if Iggy's in it, he's in it for good. Matt Padgett looked at strike one. Padgett 0 for 2 here today. Buchholz on the first. Back easily is Bergamy. A leadoff walk to Bergamy, followed by a strikeout from Garciaparra. Ramos popped out to second. Oh, 1 pitch from Buchholz. Fouled back. It's 0-2. Of course, it's been an adventure so far for Matt Padgett. This was the play in the outfield when he hit the main monster head first. And after getting checked out by the Reading trainer on that fly ball from Jeff Natale. He was allowed to stay in the game. First at bat since that collision with the wall. 0-2 pitch. Fouled it off to stay alive. I mentioned before you're familiar with Matt Paget, a former Sea Dog, but there's a guy who's had to battle injury in his career. Last July, his season ended on July 5th. 0-2 pitch. Curveball fouled off by Paget. And Bergeby will return to first. Action in the Portland bullpen. So Buchholz has had to work this inning. Lincoln Holtzcomb is warming up here with 2 outs in an 0-2 count on Matt Paget. Here's the pitch. Catches the corner. Paget disagrees. Paget's going to debate this one, and I think rightly so. He goes down on strikes, and it's still shutout baseball from Clay Buchholz. 3-0 Sea Dogs after 4.5.
A lot of people think I'm nuts. I'm crazy. I'm kind of whacked. I'm kind of not your normal host. Think I'm dull? Oh my God, I caught myself. Welcome to the show. Where you been?
Sponsored by Obashan Hardware, the greatest show on H2O.
Dating do's and don'ts.
What I can tell you is good dating tips.
He carries a gun.
That would be big, especially on the first date. Negative.
Maybe try to make a little eye contact.
I'm just looking for chicks who aren't boring, basically. Oh my God. I wouldn't probably go much further than that, you know. All right.
Socks appeal. Do you have it? Log on and show us.
Well, the day is over for manager P.J. Forbes, who was just ejected by home plate umpire Robert Price. Here is the pitch in question, and Buchholz was given the benefit of a wide strike zone right there, it would appear. So R.J. Forbes debated it after Paget did, and that's it. Forbes was tossed.
And there's
So
a few magical words that will get you tossed. And that pitch appeared, and we have replay here, and that appeared to be inside, definitely inside.
And it's a long walk here at Hadlock Field too, because the visiting team walks across the field towards the clubhouse. So Forbes will head out.
Wow, we got all the shots, huh?
Yeah, well, we've got complete coverage of the Forbes ejection here on NESN. Mans his own gate. I don't know. He's now gone into a quiet zone for us. So Forbes is done, and we move on to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Jed Lowry to lead it off for the Sea Dogs. I think Forbes wanted to get his money's worth on that one, and rightly so. That's fouled off by Lowry. 1-1.
Well, instead of managing, he could go into the NESN truck and manage the rest of the broadcast.
He was wandering towards the NESN truck, so maybe he wants to watch the rest of the game from the air-conditioned comfort of the NESN production truck. Lowry has been on base twice. No surprise there for someone who's reached base in 27 consecutive games. This one's fouled off, 1-2. Jed doubled and scored in the first, walked and scored in the third. Lowry came in hitting .283 on the season. Lowry, Natale, Kaler. Question will be, is Buchholz done for the day? We saw action in the Portland bullpen. Buchholz right up around 90 pitches. 95 his last time out against Clemens, as you mentioned a moment before, Mike.
He's thrown 88 pitches.
2-2. Strike 3 called. And Lowry will give a good long look at that one.
Look like a backdoor curveball from Cameron. Look at that thing just hover. Apparently on the outside edge. Good job by the catcher, Hill.
A well-placed use of the word apparently. 1 down. Here's Natale. He walked in the first, singled in the third. He's the one who hit the fly ball to left to Paget, who made a great attempt at it, but ended up going headfirst into the main monster. There's a long single. Jay Johnson, the key hit of that third inning, a 2-run single with 1 down. There's the big curve. Doesn't catch the zone. It's 1-1. Big, slow curveball. 2-1.
And you see the difference in curveballs from Buchholz to Ryan Cameron, who throws it with a different velocity number, more in the low 70s, maybe mid 60s. He starts towards that right-handed hitter, more successful against righties.
That's in there for a strike. It's 2-2. Two-two pitch to the designated hitter, fouled off. Count will remain 2-2.
Jeff Natale's gotten an opportunity to play first base this year for the Sea Dogs. Position he's not played at the past, played in spring training and creates more opportunity. So he's played first, he's played second, he's been DHing since he came off the DL.
That's tapped towards third. Up with it is Costanzo onto first to retire Jeff Natale. 2 away. On Father's Day, Sunday, June 17th, the Portland Sea Dogs will open the ballpark early to allow fans to play catch on the field. Fans will have the opportunity to play catch here at Hadlock Field from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. and then enjoy a Sea Dogs game as Portland takes on the Akron Arrows at 1 p.m. Call the Sea Dogs ticket office for tickets and information at 207-879-9500. First pitch to Corey Kaler, strike 1. Cameron has come on to settle things down after Totten had a bumpy ride. Swing and a miss for strike 2. He's retired all 5 men he's faced so far since coming in after the 3rd inning.
And I'm hoping somebody reaches base. You see him with somebody on, he'll bow down even more, like Mike Mussina.
Well, you
see it now.
Yeah, he's pitching out of the stretch here with nobody on. And he makes quick work of Kaler. 3-pitch strikeout. 3 up, 3 down for the Sea Dogs here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Portland leading Reading 3-0 here on NESN.
Hey Jen, how's the banking business?
You mean cashing other people's big paychecks? It's depressing. I can't believe how much some people make, including you.
I make good money because I went back to school and got my degree. You can do the same thing.
I've been thinking about it, but I have no idea where to start.
My husband used this great new service called Education Connection to find an online master's program. It is so fantastic. They do all the work for you and it's free. They help you choose a program and even match you to the best schools.
Education Connection's amazing free service does all the work for you. We search hundreds of accredited colleges and universities and thousands of programs so you don't have to. We can even help match your personality to the right career. We make finding the best schools easy.
Hey
Karen, you're so right about Education Connection. They're great.
You'll be cashing your own big check soon.
Let Education Connection find the right school for you. It's free, so call 800-220-3034 or log on to oneeducationadvising.com now.
We're back here at Hadlock Field, Portland leading Reading by a score of 3-0 at the end of 5. And this was the scene, the end of last year, the top moment in Sea Dog history. The Eastern League Championship game, the final out as the Sea Dogs started to celebrate, and what a thrill it was, Mike, to end the season with the championship. You focus so much on developing players and trying to send guys on to the major leagues, but you do keep score in these games and you do go after a championship. And the ring ceremony earlier this year, you've got a ring right here. We've got you showed up for the camera right there. Mike, a part of it, of course, the radio broadcaster here for the Portland Sea Dogs. And tell us what kind of thrill it was here for this whole community, Sea Dogs fans and the Portland community, to celebrate a championship.
Well, the great thing about Portland, the playoffs games the last 2 years, they get a lot of fans for playoff games, and sometimes after Labor Day in September, they don't get the crowds back to school, but they get over 5,000 people here, and the intensity is just off the charts. I mean, people are into every pitch, and that's what's different watching playoff baseball, no matter what level. It's every play. In the Northern Division Championship Series, Brandon Moss throws out a runner at the plate in the top of the inning and then hits a walk-off home run to win it. I mean, there were so many thrills in that series, playing a Yankee affiliate to get in, and they won the first 2 games of the championship series in Akron, then lose the first 2 here at home and win it in Game 5. I mean, it was a lot of fun. You know what? You don't know what it feels like until that final out. It's a strange feeling.
And Brandon Moss had a great postseason, the MVP of the Eastern League playoffs. And you want to see how players react and respond when the pressure's higher, when you're in a playoff series. It's not just about, well, how are they swinging the bat, how they're pitching. It's also how they respond in those kinds of environments as well.
Yeah, and the game was tied in the Northern Division Championship Series against Trenton with 2 outs, and there's a soft ground ball hit to right. He throws a bullet home to get that final out, and like I said, the home run, shining in those spots. And I think that's part of developing how guys, you know, battle in certain spots when the big lights are on. And, you know, it's AA baseball, but still, it's big time when it comes to the championship series. And, you know, it's fun. And Brandon Moss has, you know, continued that right into AAA this year. He's done a very nice job with the Paw Sox.
So a great reward for everybody connected here with this franchise, as the Sea Dogs won their first ever championship last year right here at Hadlock Field. And you touched on it before, the thrill for Devern Hansack, who goes here from the Eastern League Series up to Fenway and has an opportunity to, well, all he did was pitch a no-hitter, a 5-inning no-hitter, and of course it won't count as a major league no-hitter, but just a great thrill just all around for everything connected with those couple of weeks last year. We move on to the top half of the 6th inning. Clay Buchholz is still out there after throwing 88 pitches through 5 innings. His first pitch to Mike Costanzo is low for ball 1. Costanzo reached on a fielder's choice in the first, struck out in the 3rd. We'll see how long Buchholz goes here if he makes it through this inning. With more activity down in the Sea Dog bullpen. Fly ball down the left field line, and it is out of play as Andrew Pickney went over to give it a look.
And with that 7th strikeout by Buchholz, he becomes the first pitcher in franchise history to strike out at least 7 batters in 8 straight starts. He has done that in his last 8. Opening night for him, he struck out just 2 in 4 2/3.
That one on the inside corner for strike 2. It's 1-2.
Now, Mike Costanzo was struck out a few times this year, 63 times coming into the ball game today.
One-two pitch. In the dirt for ball 2, and Buchholz in elite company with that mark that he just set. Who held that record before?
And we've seen his uniform here earlier today, Josh Beckett. So fans still rave about here in Portland when you talk about some of the great players here. Beckett's name always comes up.
Well, he went from here onto the Marlins, where he would become a World Series MVP, winning the World Series with the Florida Marlins. Now moving on to the Red Sox, and in his 2nd year with Boston, off to a phenomenal start, 7-0 record. He'll return to the rotation coming off the disabled list tomorrow for the Red Sox. And all indications are in his work on the side here, while he's been on the disabled list with the avulsion problem on his pitching hand, as this one sent out to right center field. Making a move for it is Kaler, and he's there to make the catch for the first out. As that Beckett has looked great here in his time on the DL. So we'll see what he's able to do against the Cleveland Indians on Tuesday. But I could see why the fans here in Portland would recognize some of that greatness at an early point in his career.
There was only 13 starts in 2001. You look at the hit standings pitch, 50 hits, 74 in the third innings. He walked only 19 and he struck out 102. He was 8-1. He was 16-3 that year between 3 levels.
First pitch to Chris Coast is in for a strike. Coast 0 for 2. And really some of the top pitchers that the Red Sox have on their staff, Jonathan Papelbon, Josh Beckett, when John Lester returns, spent some time here.
Homegrown.
Some of the key points of their baseball development. There's the big curve in there for strike 3. Well, I'd like to hear what Chris Coast has to say about Clay Buchholz after the game, because Coast, with some very recent major league experience, to see how what he's seen from Buchholz today stacks up against some of the major league stuff he's seen, because I think Buchholz has really given him some quality pitches here in this game, as Coast is now over 3, and that looks like it's going to be the last batter for Clay Buchholz today. Baylor out to take the baseball from Buchholz, and listen to the ovation for Clay Buchholz as he leaves after pitching shutout ball through 5 2/3. So the day is done for Clay Buchholz, a new pitcher on for the Sea Dogs. We'll tell you about him when we come back. Swing and a miss. Hopped up, foul ground, game over. 375 outings in between saves for Kurt Schilling. His first save since May the 3rd of 1992.
I am stuffed.
After that meal, I have got to pass gas.
Powder room's right there.
No! Daddy's gas can kill us all!
That's right. Toxic clouds like the one I'm about to unleash could make everyone deathly ill. Even that baby of yours. Be right back.
Secondhand smoke contains hydrogen cyanide and other deadly gases.
What a guy.
He is a keeper.
Don't pass gas. Take it outside.
Clay Buchholz takes a seat in the dugout. Another strong performance. You can just see right there from the number of hits he's given up. Just 2 hits, didn't give up a hit after the second inning, striking out 8. His final batter, Coast, a strikeout victim for the second time in this game.
Yeah, the fastball right there, Costanzo, and then this is what you're talking about with Coast. The curveball there, and then he'll get Coast on a knee buckler, and he's out of the game after that strikeout.
So a new pitcher comes on for the Sea Dogs after Buchholz goes 5 2/3.
They'll be right-hander Lincoln Holtzcomb taking over for the Sea Dogs, once in the Marlin system.
The numbers for Holtzcomb on the season, a 3-0 record with a 1.5 earned run average.
He just gave up his first professional home run. That came in Trenton to Aaron Balderas, and he told me, that's the first home run I've given up. And I said, yeah, I know, this year. He said, no, ever. So I looked it up.
You looked it up, right? You're not just going to take his word for it, and he was right. This one sent down the right field line and pretty deep. It's slicing towards the corner and foul. A little out of our line of sight, but you see the umpire indicating a foul ball. So that was home run number 1.
213 in the third innings, covering 144 professional appearances without a long ball. He gave up 3 in the fall league. That he told me. I couldn't find that.
So Holtzcomb on with 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Buchholz went 5 2/3. And Holtzcomb comes on to get Hill looking to end the inning. At the end of 5 1/2, the Sea Dogs on top of Reading 3-0 on the road to Fenway.
And now back to the hard ways.
Awesome. That was quick. Son, are you done already? Since getting all the best with Roadrunner, I finished my homework so much faster. Sounds easier. And fun. Roadrunner is way faster than DSL. Now I can download music and check sports scores.
With Roadrunner, now you've got time to take out the garbage.
There's an easier way. Roadrunner and all the best. Only from Time Warner Cable.
It's time to break free. Feel the exhilaration. We've turned fun into an exact science. Leave everything else behind on a Sea-Doo watercraft.
CB&D Marine Brewer.
Portland on top of the Reading Phillies 3-0 as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning here at Hadlock Field. And the Portland Sea Dogs will host a spectacular post-game fireworks show on Monday, June 26th, as the Sea Dogs host the Connecticut Defenders. This is a rescheduled show. Please note the game time has changed from 7 p.m. to 6 p.m. For more information, contact the Portland Sea Dogs at 207-895-9500 or go online at seadogs.com.
And when you see Connecticut, you think about the snow. They were the opponent here, first 4 games of this season, and that's where the Sea Dogs will go next. They'll play 6 games.
Yeah, got a lot of games coming up with Connecticut.
7 in 6 days. A home-and-home series, which they do a lot of in minor league baseball.
Jay Johnson will lead it off here in the bottom half of the 6th inning for the Sea Dogs. He singled in 2 runs in the 3rd. Portland on top 3-0 here in the bottom of the 6th as Ryan Cameron delivers his first pitch to Johnson for a strike. Cameron working his 3rd inning. He's retired all 6 batters he's faced so far. The Mass native delivers a curveball for ball 1. It's 1-1.
Jay Johnson had a nice debut last year here in Portland at Hadlock, his first game at this level. Had the game-winning hit in extra innings.
One pitch. In there for a strike. It's 1-2.
And a Kentucky guy, you don't see many of those in professional baseball. He's a big fan of the Kentucky Derby, which, how long does that take? 2.5 minutes? Less than that?
Less than that. But it's not just the race. You know, there's a lot of races before that, and then there's just, I'm sure, if he's been to Churchill Downs, there's been a little time spent on the infield. I would certainly hope. That's where all the excitement is. Johnson almost beat it out, but he's retired for the first out of the 6th inning.
Coming this summer into Hadlock, look for it behind the third base stand.
Watch Costanzo at work at third base. Took his time for a moment, but Johnson running hard. He was out by a step as Tejeda had the stretch for the first out. Well, Ryan Cameron has pitched very well here in relief of Heath Totten. Cameron came in with a 4.97 earned run average. This is his 14th appearance this season, but he's been very effective. Eric Crozier getting his first look at Cameron, and he's down 0-2.
It's been that big sweeping curveball, especially on the right-handed hitters. That curveball starting at the righties, and that pitch to the left-handed hitting Crozier moving down and away, moving down and in.
That one missed. It's 1-2. Mike talked about his New England ties a little bit before. You see the vitals for Ryan Cameron. Time called.
The former Sea Dog coming back to pitch in a park he's very familiar with. And Sea Dogs playing the teams in the Southern Division. They only come here once.
Ground ball right side. Tejeda is there. Cameron comes over to cover for the second out. Well, Crozier is retired. They'll bring up John Otnes.
Well, you said Cameron's done a good job. First pitch strike to every hitter except Lowry. It's 7 of 8. And Lowry was called out on strikes, so it all worked out.
2 down for John Otnes, who's 0 for 2. Flew out to center field and grounded into a force out. He's 0 for 2 and looks at strike 1. Another first pitch strike from Ryan Cameron.
His motion must feel uncomfortable to hitters when he falls on that third base side.
Line drive left field and sinking quickly. It's in there for a base hit. So the first base runner to reach against Ryan Cameron on in relief here for Reading. John Otnes with a single. He's now 1 for 3 with a 2-out hit. He'll bring up Andrew Pickney.
That pitch was just up, and Otnes did a good job staying back and getting the bat through the zone and ripping a single with 2 outs.
Cameron set to deliver to Pickney. Fouled off for strike 1. And you talked about the deception of the motion really for Cameron, as Sea Dog players have been a little bit off balance, but you talked about right when he came into the game that Mike Mussina extreme way he comes to the belt. Gets the sign and
you know who that is. Yeah.
Now with the runner on base, it's actually put to good use because that's an interesting way to check the lead, although you're looking at the world upside down.
Getting your stretching in while you pitch.
There's the lead and there's the check. Here's the pitch. Popped up left side. Will stay in fair territory as Costanzo goes back to put it away, and that ends the inning. Sea Dogs get their first hit against Cameron, but leave Otnes stranded at first. At the end of 6, 3-0 Portland.
I had done some research.
Got the brochures. We went on the internet.
We went to the home show. We did the looking at other products.
A couple of local contractor showrooms. Nothing turned me on.
Nothing struck me.
As soon as we saw the renewal by Anderson's, it was such a better product than anything we had seen. I don't think we could have bought a better window.
From a company with over 100 years of experience, leadership, and innovation comes what may well be the perfect replacement window for your home. Renewal by Anderson. Call or log on right now and receive our beautiful full-color catalog. Learn about all the benefits and the savings you could be enjoying on the cost of heating and cooling your home.
We had a mild winter, but we really saved probably 300 gallons in fuel in 1 year.
Call or log on right now, and you'll also receive a special savings offer, which will make it even easier to make Renewal by Anderson a part of your home. For the home you love, window and door replacement from a company you can trust. Renewal by Anderson.
NESN's baseball doubleheader continues tonight from Fenway Park. It's Monday and we get you started bright and early at 5:30 with Monster Monday. The Cleveland Indians are in town, and that means the return of Trot Nixon, no doubt. It'll be an emotional return for Nixon as he returns to Fenway with his new team, the Indians, facing against the only other team he had ever played for. So join me and Dennis Eckersley tonight at 5:30 as we get our pre-game coverage started. Right now, we send you back to Hadlock Field.
We thank Maine native Tom Caron for the update on what's to come tonight here on NESN as the Red Sox and Indians start a 3-game series. Both teams first place teams. The Sox the best record in baseball. The Indians in first place in the AL Central, and Trot Nixon's return. So a big day here on NESN, starting you off with this AA matchup between the Reading Phillies and the Portland Sea Dogs. The Sea Dogs trying to pick up their 5th consecutive win. They lead 3-0 here as we play the top half of the 7th inning. Lincoln Holtzcomb facing his second batter. It's Greg Jacobs to lead things off here in the 7th. Clay Buchholz came in with an earned run average of 1.97. That will drop after he pitched 5 2/3 of shutout baseball, giving up just 2 hits. He walked 3, struck out 8. Setting a Portland franchise record by reaching the 7 strikeout mark. That was established by Josh Beckett. First pitcher in franchise history to strike out at least 7 in 8 straight games. And Buchholz, they've updated the math now with a 1.75 earned run average. Here in the top of the 7th is a leadoff single for Greg Jacobs. And here's Juan Tejeda. Inside, it's 1-1. Tejeda singled in the second, one of the threats to Buchholz in the early going. Buchholz had 2 on and 1 out in the first. Got Chris Coast to ground into a double play, and then with runners on first and second in the second with 1 out, Buchholz came back with back-to-back strikeouts to end that inning. As a matter of fact, the single to Tejeda was the last hit Buchholz gave up, and that came with 1 out in the second inning. Buchholz left with 2 outs in the 6th. That's fouled back off the screen to even the count at 2-2.
Holtzcomb was in the Cubs system last year and taken in the major league phase of the Rule 5 draft by the Astros, and they gave him just 2 appearances in spring training. He was on the 25-man roster. He was sent back to the Cubs. They released him, and the Red Sox, they signed him in late April.
That's fouled off by Tejeda.
18 innings. He's allowed 7 runs, only 3 earned. So he's done a nice job anchoring that Portland pen. Picked up a win in his last outing in Trenton.
Native of California, big at 6'4", 240. That one's in the dirt, and it gets away from the catcher Otnes, and moving down to second base is Jacobs. So a runner in scoring position here for Reading. The first time that's happened since the second inning.
They were 0 for 3 against Buchholz. That's a tough pitch to handle for Otnes. He did a good job quickly getting to his right. Had the glove there in position, but couldn't block it.
Fly ball lifted to right field. Fighting the sun is Corey Kaler. He puts it away. Tagging and moving to third is Jacobs, and he'll get in safely. So for the first time in this game, a runner has reached third base for the Reading Phillies. It comes here in the 7th inning.
Now off the bat, it looks like a very short pop to right. Fairly deep, and Jacobs has pretty good speed.
Well, similar to Fenway Park, right field is a tough sun field here at Hadlock. We've seen Kaler on that play, and we saw it earlier, fighting the sun a little bit. Bright sunshine here in Portland. That's on the corner for a strike, and it's 0-2 to Brian Bergamy. Against Buchholz, Bergamy struck out and walked. One of 3 walks given up by Buchholz. Nasty break on that pitch, but it's low for a ball. 1-2.
Throws a lot of cutters, fastball, curveball, a slurve as well.
1-2 pitch. Grounded foul. The count will hold at 1-2. Greg Jacobs at third. Reading trying to get on the scoreboard. They're also trying to come back in this game and avoid a 4-game sweep at the hands of the Sea Dogs. Again, fouled off towards the Portland dugout.
Holtzcomb is a big guy, but he has a brother in the Mets system that is 6'9".
One, two. Caught looking, strike three called on Bergamy. Holtzcomb takes the backdoor route to get his second strikeout. That is a key out right there. 2 down now in the 7th.
And the hitter thinks this pitch is outside. Look at it come right back on the back door, like you said.
So it's up to Michael Garcia-Parra to try to get Reading on the scoreboard here with 2 down in the top of the 7th. And Jacobs on third. Garcia-Parra had a tough day against Buchholz. 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. Swinging in the 2nd, swinging in the 5th. One-0. Fouled back. 1-1.
Big strikeout day yesterday for the Portland pitchers. They had 14, and they have racked up 10 today between Buchholz and Holtzcomb.
The 25-year-old offers it up to Garcia-Parra, low and away for ball 2, 2-1. That's fouled out of play by Garcia-Parra, and Holtzcomb now 1 strike away from getting out of this jam. The Sea Dogs leading 3-0. A run in the 1st, 2 runs in the 3rd. They've been shut down since then by Ryan Cameron. Now Holtzcomb trying to get Garcia-Parra. Breaking ball misses, and the count is full at 3-2. The 3-2 pitch. Garcia-Parra gets just enough of it to send it in and then back out of the Portland dugout.
See Rob Leary, field coordinator for the Boston Red Sox here in town, and he was yelling at Garcia-Parra, "Come on, Mike. Put it in play. Don't hit it in our dugout."
The 3-2 pitch. Ground ball chopped to third. The throw on to first, and the shutout is intact for the Sea Dogs. Pickney to Crozier to end the inning, and at the end of 6.5, Portland leads Reading 3-0.
Do you want to boost your sales? You can with Time Warner Cable Media Sales. It's fast and effective. Just listen.
The impact that Time Warner Media Sales has had on Quality Jewelers has been tremendous. We've probably had about a 20% increase over last December. I mean, how do you beat that?
Let our team of advertising experts get you bigger results and maximize your advertising budget. Get on track with Time Warner Cable Media Sales today. Call 942-3287.
If you're looking for advertising results, Time Warner Cable is a no-brainer.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you.
This summer, the American Road is calling. Get there at the Chevy Memorial Day sale. For 7 short days, get 0% financing plus $1,000 bonus cash on select 07s. Hurry, sale ends May 31st.
Shop and compare at MainDriveChevy.com.
Back at Hadlock Field, Portland on top of Reading 3-0 as we head to the bottom half of inning number 7. Beginning June 26th, experience a brand new approach to New England sports debate from Nesson and the Boston Globe with the Globe 10.0. Host Bob Ryan will tackle the 10 hottest topics of the sports world and beyond every Tuesday through Thursday. Watch the Globe 10.0 at 5:30 p.m. The new primetime, and get the point. Let's take you through the runs scored by the Sea Dogs in this game. It started in the 1st inning. Corey Kaler with a RBI double. Brought in Jed Lowry to put the Sea Dogs on top 1-0. And then Jay Johnson with a 2-run single in the 3rd. Heath Totten giving up all 3 runs. Ryan Cameron hasn't given up anything since, and that's where we are right now, 3-0. Very good pitching in this game from Buchholz and Holtzcomb for Portland, giving up just 3 hits to Reading so far through 7 innings.
And Ryan Cameron has really kept the Reading Phillies in this ball game with 3 scoreless innings, retiring 9 of 10.
Iggy Suarez facing Cameron and lifts a fly ball foul and out of play down the left field line.
And 1 ball hit out of the infield. That was the single by Otnes with 2 outs in the 6th. I'm sure Cameron had to fill out the pass list today, leaving tickets. Massachusetts guy. Have to borrow a lot of their teammates' tickets.
Well, for Ryan, this could be the one time where they could say, as Suarez comes up with his first hit of the game, you don't have to come to the game today. You can just watch on Nesson down home in Massachusetts. So for friends and family of Ryan Cameron, welcome. He's pitched very well, giving up just 2 hits to Otnes in the 6th and now to Suarez to lead off the 7th. We move back to the top of the order. Jeff Corselletti flew out to center field to lead off the game, walked and scored in the 3rd and fouled out to the catcher in the 4th. Corselletti hitting at .260. Suarez takes his lead off first. 1-0 pitch. Back through the middle and off the pitcher Cameron up into the air, and everyone's going to be safe. Cameron had the kick save, but no help after that. So a couple of singles here to start the 7th inning for Portland.
And once it pops in the air, there's no way you're going to get Corselletti with his speed. And if that ball gets through, who knows, that might have been a base hit to center and might have allowed Iggy Suarez to go to 3rd base. But Garcia Parra and Ramos were near the bag, so they might have had the out. That ball was hit pretty hard, though, by Corselletti.
Not even a check of Cameron, so he's okay. But in a jam here for the first time in the 7th. 2 on, nobody out, and here's Jed Lowry. He looks at a called strike. Lowry doubled and scored in the 1st, walked and scored in the 3rd, and was called out on strikes in the 5th. The 0-1. Outside, 1-1. Suarez started it with a single to left. Corselletti followed with a single off the pitcher. And here's Lowry with a 1-1 count. Lifts it to center field. Settling under it is Bergamy. He puts it away. Tagging up is Suarez, taking off for 3rd. The throw goes all the way through, but Suarez is in safely.
That's good base running by Iggy. You could see him very late go back to second base to tag. He realized that ball was hit in a spot where he was able to tag up. I think at first he didn't think he would be able to tag up from second base. Watch him jump back to the bag. He realizes how deep that's hit, and he gets 3rd base. If he doesn't do that, his 1st and 2nd 1 out, and it gives the chance for Reading to get out of the inning unscathed, which they still could. They've got a runner 90 feet away, which is the 4th run.
And a double play would get Cameron out of this jam. Runners on the corner with 1 out, and Jeff Natale, the designated hitter, is up. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. Ball 1. Natale walked in the 1st, was left at 3rd, and in the 3rd he singled and was stranded at 2nd. Grounded to 3rd in the 5th. 1-0 pitch. Fly ball. Looks like it'll be deep enough for Suarez as Bergamy settles under it. Here comes the throw home, It's cut off, and the Sea Dogs have a 4-0 lead.
That's a good piece of hitting by Jeff Natale because that pitch was down. He's trying to get him to roll one to third base, trying to get that double play. But he was able to go down and get that pitch and lift it in the air. That's a good at bat.
And it goes back to what you talked about with Suarez and the good base running, the at bat before on the fly ball by Lowry. For Suarez to advance to third base to be in a position to score on a fly ball. So good work by Suarez and by Natale to get the Sea Dogs' 4th run home. Now bring up Corey Kaler. First pitch from Cameron is outside for a ball. Kaler doubled in a run in the first, struck out in the 3rd and in the 5th. Corselletti back, teetering a little bit as he gets to first base. Want to know the count to the Portland cleanup hitter. That missed for ball 2, 2-0.
And it's very easy to tell what Reading thinks Kaler's going to do here. They're playing him to pull, but the shortstop Garcia Parra very deep, almost behind second. Costanzo playing in the hole. And look at Garcia Parra almost behind the bag directly.
2-0. Fouled off, 2-1.
You've seen that shift before.
Not quite Poppy proportions, but you see Michael Garcia Parra, he'll shade even closer to the bag at second base as Cameron comes set. The 2-1. High and outside, ball 3, 3-1 to Corey Kaler.
And this is the 4th inning for Ryan Cameron. You don't see this a lot from relievers go this deep in a stint. Even 3's a lot. He's gone 4. He hasn't thrown many pitches up until this frame.
The starter Heath Totten went 3 innings for Reading. It's been Cameron since. Fouled back and out of play. That will bring the count full at 3-2, and with 2 outs here in the 7th, Corselletti will be off with the pitch from first base. Well, perhaps in this inning, Cameron showing some signs of the fatigue, giving up back-to-back singles to Suarez and Corselletti, and a couple of fly balls that led to the 4th Portland run. There goes the runner. The 3-2 pitch swung on and missed, and Cameron digs deep. A great effort if that is indeed the day for Cameron, but he does give up a run here in the 7th, and the Sea Dogs stretch their lead to 4-0 over Reading.
Do you need a home loan? Let us help you today. Here at the National Mortgage Center, you are our valued customer. Imagine having up to 3 banks competing for your business.
It's true. I made one fast and easy phone call. I was approved, and I received 3 great offers to refinance my home.
Homeowners, wouldn't you prefer the banks competing for your business? Call this number right now and receive up to 3 free quotes for your home loan needs.
I was dangerously in debt. My credit was in the low 500s. But after one quick phone call, I was approved for 3 life-changing offers. And now I'm debt-free.
Cash in today. Get money for debt consolidation, home improvements, even vacations. Our banks have the lowest rates in the industry. Poor credit? No problem. Call our loan hotline today and receive up to 3 free quotes.
It's that easy. The National Mortgage Center helped me. They can help you too.
All homeowners are approved for up to 3 free quotes. So call our 24-hour loan hotline now.
4-0 Sea Dogs lead the Reading Phillies, top of the 8th. Remember to join Glenn Geffner and Ken Ryan as the road to Fenway continues Thursday at McCoy Stadium. The Pawtucket Red Sox host the Columbus Clippers, not a Yankee affiliate anymore. That's live at 7 p.m. See the Stars of tomorrow play today, Thursday at 7.
I think we all know now, because of what Roger Clemens is doing tonight, who the Yankees AAA affiliate is. It's now Scranton Wilkes-Barre.
They certainly hit the jackpot. First year as the affiliate. They're the Scranton Yankees, so I'm sure their merchandise has done okay in their team store, and they get Roger Clemens.
For at least one start, maybe two. We'll have to see if it's the end of the line for Roger in the minor league rehab run, and if his next start after tonight will be at Fenway Park this weekend. Here at Hadlock Field, the Sea Dogs have tacked on another run. They lead 4-0, looking for their 5th consecutive win and a 4-game sweep of the Reading Phillies here on Memorial Day weekend in Portland. Peter Ramos quickly down 0-2 to Lincoln Holtzcomb. The 0-2 pitch sent out to right field. Kaler is there, 1 away.
And Sea Dogs have had 1 sweep in the history of this franchise over Reading. It was a 2-game series back at their place in '94. I don't remember that, but it did happen when Reading played at Municipal Stadium.
And of course, Reading is one of the great traditional franchises of the Eastern League. Their time in the Eastern League dates back farther continuously than anyone else. This is their 41st year. You can think about the Eastern League stretching back to the 20s and teams coming in and out, but Reading has been there since '67 in the Eastern League, competing at this level of baseball. That's fouled off by Paget.
And it's nice when you go there, there's so much history of Reading, and it's fun to see the players that have been there. You see Ryan Howard, but then you see the older guys. Mike Schmidt has played there. Greg Luzinski, to current Phillies. Ryan Sandberg,
someone who was just honored there. Called strike. It's 0-2.
Ryan's nephew Jared Sandberg was a member of the 2005 Sea Dogs.
Paget grounds it foul outside of first. And the count holds at 0-2. Alan Davis is up in the Reading bullpen. We mentioned how Ryan Cameron has gone deep in this game, throwing 4 innings of relief. And he was busy last inning. This one hit deep to right field by Matt Paget. Looking up is Kaler, and it is gone. So Reading is finally on the board. Matt Paget hits his 4th home run of the year. It's 4-1 Portland.
So after Holtzcomb won all those innings in appearances without allowing a home run, he's allowed homers in back-to-back appearances.
Third baseman number 4, Mike Costanzo.
Well, a great battle by Paget. He was quickly down 0-2, fouled one off, and then he got a hanging curveball, it would appear, that he sent over the LL Bean boot in right field. That's a pretty big duck boot, too. So a long home run by Paget gets Reading on the scoreboard to make it a 4-1 game. Paget got a lot to talk about in this game. Perhaps a welt on the forehead from hitting the main monster head first on a diving play, and this is the home run. Kaler turned around, but yeah, that cleared the boot. That cleared the high part of the boot too. Yeah, he does have a welt on his forehead, doesn't it? Look at certainly a bruise. That's a main monster mark on the forehead of Matt Paget, a souvenir for the former Sea Dog in his trip back to Portland. Now a walk delivered by Costanzo. So Matt Paget, the highs and lows we're able to go through right now. We just showed you the home run, and this is the low as he almost made a great catch, but you saw the head bounce back. But fortunately for Paget and the Phils, he stayed in the game and was able to deliver the home run, his 4th of the season. Chris Coast up for the 4th time. It's been a long afternoon in his 2nd game with the Reading Phillies, and now backhand attempt at third is bobbled, and the throw on the first is in time. So a good recovery by Pickney down at third base On to Crozier at first to get Coast. Moving on to second base is Costanzo.
And with the 3-run lead for the Sea Dogs, that play's not made. The tying run bats, and he was able to just keep it in front of him. And the throw was low, but it was a good bounce for Crozier to handle. Watch it come up. Almost looks like a throw at the end. Almost chest high, that bounce.
Bounced so far in front of the first baseman, he had plenty of time to react to it and put it away easily for the second out of the inning. So with Costanzo on second, here's Jason Hill. Strike one.
93 miles an hour on that fastball, and you could tell on that swing by Hill. A little late.
Hill popped out to first in the second, walked in the fourth, struck out looking in the sixth. Clay Buchholz went 5 2/3 here in this game. He stands to receive the win with Holtzcomb the first out of the bullpen here in the 8th inning, giving up the first run of the game for Portland. And action in the Sea Dog bullpen. Bo Vaughn is up and throwing. Hill swing and a miss, strike 3. That will end the inning, but Reading gets on the scoreboard. Matt Padgett with a solo home run. It's 4-1 Portland as we head to the bottom of the 8th.
Great news, Mrs. Wilson. Credit Card of America is able to cut your monthly credit card payments by $248.
Mr. Lynch, it looks like you'll be able to save over $13,000 in interest payments with Credit Card of America.
Credit Card of America is a nonprofit credit counseling company.
We're here to help you solve your credit problems and meet your financial goals.
Take this important first step toward financial freedom and call Credit Card of America. Certified credit counselors are standing by right now.
If you are $3,000 or more in debt and 30 days behind in payments, we can help you. So call our toll-free number.
Our certified credit counselors are standing by to provide you with free credit counseling services and assist you in becoming debt-free.
Take this important first step toward financial freedom right now and call Credit Card of America. Certified credit counselors are standing by right now. Call Credit Card of America.
We can assist you in becoming debt-free.
At the end of 7.5 here at Hadlock Field in Portland, the Sea Dogs are on top 4-1 over the Reading Phillies. Double your Sea Dogs fun. The Sea Dogs will play a day-night doubleheader on Saturday, July 28th against the Connecticut Defenders. Game 1 is slated for 1 p.m. with the nightcap to kick off at 6 p.m. Tickets are available for both games. Call the Sea Dogs ticket office at 207-879-9500 or order online at seadogs.com.
And in the past, day-night doubleheaders of the minor leagues had been 9 innings, but they have changed that. So even the day-nighters are 7 frames, which helps the bullpens. This year, minor league rosters are allowed to be 24 the entire season. In years past, it was 24 for the first 30 days in the last 30 days, but that has changed.
And with so many weather issues in the East Coast in the early part of the season, those 7-inning games are probably welcome, certainly with the stress it puts on pitching. You see Alan Davis, you saw his numbers, and you see an early nap here on Memorial Day for one little Sea Dog fan here at Hadlock Field. 7,000 plus here. 7,217 on a beautiful summer-like day here on Memorial Day at Hadlock Field. Some fans have made their way towards the exits to get an early start on the holiday barbecue, perhaps, but still a big crowd here enjoying a sunshine day at Hadlock Field in Portland. Now Mike James is going to get some work in the Portland bullpen. We'll see if he's the man who comes on for the top half of the 9th inning. Right now it's the bottom half of the 8th inning, and leading off is one of the keys to this lead for the Sea Dogs, Jay Johnson. It was his 2-run single in the 3rd inning that put Portland on top 3-0. That was the stretch where Buchholz really started to settle down. You could really trace it back to the 2nd inning. Gave up back-to-back singles, but Buchholz then had back-to-back strikeouts. Retired the R-fills in order in the 3rd. Gave up just a walk in the 4th. Also gave up a walk in the 5th. faced 2 batters, registering 2 outs in the 6th. So Arnie Baylor has to like what he saw today from one of the prize prospects in the Red Sox organization, Clay Buchholz, who continues his stellar pitching.
Well, we saw Ryan Cameron, a right-hander that falls to the third base side. Alan Davis, a submarine-style lefty like Mike Myers, he'll fall to the first base side.
Grounded to short. Garciaparra throws it on to first. 1 away. Just sounds odd probably to hear that sentence here in New England. Garciaparra throws it on to first, but Michael gets it done for out number 1.
And people always ask, the entire time the Sea Dogs have been playing the Phillies, they were in Reading not too long ago last week. Is that Nomar's brother, cousin? No, it's his brother. Now you see why Alan Davis was converted to a lefty specialist. He's very tough on lefties here.
First pitch swinging, sending it out to left field and down the line into the corner. It's a foul ball. Crozier set it down the line and just foul. So Crozier will return. I think Padgett's happy he didn't have to make a diving play towards any kind of fence in the outfield on that one.
Oh, we seem to find you again. Looks like he was wearing a football helmet when we saw that welt on his forehead.
Oh, 1 pitch. Now there's a good look at it right there. The frisbee spinning in really right at the knees. 0-2.
Davis used to be a starter, and you see why these guys are special and why they're needed at the big league level.
Outside, 1-2. Inside for ball 2. 2-2 to Eric Crozier. Crozier's 0 for 3, struck out in the first, flew out to center field in the third, and grounded to first in the 6th. 4-1 Sea Dogs here in the 8th. Crozier turned on that one, sending it down the right field line, and it is foul.
A very long foul ball with a place that Crozier is familiar with, the U.S. Cellular Pavilion.
No doubt on the distance, as Crozier has cleared that bit of seating that's been in place now for a span of what, this is the 2nd season. That one was hooked foul, however. 2-2. 3-2.
And the way you know it clears it, you just watch the fans in the top row. You see them looking towards Fitzpatrick Stadium, which is in right field. See where the ball lands.
Just like the monster seats at Fenway Park. Called strike 3. Crozier's down on strikes. 2 down.
Knee-high fastball. He buried it on the outside corner.
So 2 away, and John Otnes comes to the plate. He's 1 for 3. Strike 1. Otnes singled his last time up. That was the first hit given up by Ryan Cameron. Ball 1, 1-1.
If someday maybe there'll be a main monster camera, a U.S. Cellular Pavilion camera, have all the angles.
Those things cost money.
I just come up with the ideas.
We have some persuasive people manning the truck here at Nesson. Brian Zaccello, our producer, I'm sure would forego his paycheck to put an extra camera out there. One, 2. Outside, 2-2. Fouled off by Otnes. Count will hold at 2-2.
John Otnes has been getting a bulk of the starts behind home plate with Dusty Brown, the everyday catcher for the Sea Dogs on the disabled list with a strained ribcage muscle.
2-2. That one was clocked here on the Hadlock Jugs gun at 66 miles an hour.
And that might have been the fastball, right?
The one took a while to get it to home plate.
That would have been the changeup. Fastball, not much more though. But it's all about deception, his arm angle, where he drops.
That's fouled away. Up into the crowd. So Otnes is battling here.
See why these guys are successful. They're so low to the ground. That ball just shoots out of their hand. So as a hitter, you can't see it for a while.
And if you're not used to it, it is a big adjustment whether you're a lefty or a righty. If you're a guy like David Ortiz, as this one's lifted out to center field, and you've seen Mike Myers so often, the advantage begins to turn towards Big Papi, as we've seen in some of the at-bats this year against Mike Myers. In this game, Alan Davis gets the job done. 3 up, 3 down in the 8th inning. We move on to the 9th with the Sea Dogs on top 4-1.
Drove all over town to find the best deal on a cell phone. I just logged on to Let's Talk. They make it easy to compare plans from all major carriers and find cell phone deals that are much cheaper than retail.
Like the hot BlackBerry Pearl with music and video player, a $369 value, yours free after mail-in rebate and new calling plan.
Let's Talk has the best prices, the best plans, and the most free phones guaranteed.
Log on to 25letstalk.com or call now to order your BlackBerry Pearl. Let's Talk, the smarter way to shop for cell phones. So log on or call now.
Hello?
Mrs. Anderson, this is Mark Brown. I'm from the collections department of...
Hi. Listen, I'm sorry I haven't made my payment yet. I'll get it in as soon as I can.
Maybe you should call In Charge. They'll work with you and come up with a solution that's right for you.
When life hands you a little more than you can manage, call In Charge Debt Solutions. We're a nonprofit company that puts people back in control by helping them manage their debt. We'll stop the collection calls and we'll help lower your interest rates so you'll have one affordable monthly payment. Call In Charge today.
We head to the 9th inning here at Hadlock Field in Portland. The Sea Dogs leading the Reading Phillies by a score of 4-1. As Memorial Day continues here on Nesson, we're taking a break from the Boys of Summer to remember those who have served our country. Tom Caron hosts In the Footsteps of Heroes, a Nesson special presentation of a World War II veterans documentary. Remember with us today after the game right here on Nesson. The Sea Dogs will turn to their third pitcher.